to make out on this deal?
That would help, Herb. It would. I mean, seriously, you know. This is why I closed out my 401k as soon as I could, you know, without taking a penalty, because I just it's, you know, I did okay with it, you know, and my employer donated, but I know you're not 59 and a half like I am, but beyond. But this is one of the downsides of a 401k. You know that you're. But
I'm going to lose money at no fault of my own. It's because of them.
You are.
What recourse do I have?
Maybe all you guys that are in the 401ks, maybe you can file a class action suit like all these 5,300 workers who were basically coerced into perpetrating all these fraudulent transactions, and now they were fired. They're all suing. Why don't you get a lawyer and have a class action suit for the 401k shareholders? That's the way to go, I guess.
I'll contact LePage and see what he's got to say about it, because, you know, he's a good man.
He is a good man. I don't think this is his ballywick, though. You know, I don't think this is something he would be. I think you need to get a private sector lawyer, somebody who's going to take. Well, the lawyer is probably going to want 33 and a third of the whatever the settlement is. But anything's better than nothing. Thanks.
Governor LePage is honey badger enough. He might just make this under his purview.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know though that he has the legal staff that could undertake this. This is one for some white shoe New York firm downtown. Duncan, you're next with Howie Carr and the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Duncan.
Hi, thanks for taking my call, Howie. Quick thing: Hillary Clinton's campaign chair, John Podesta, also runs the Podesta Group, a lobbying group. And they are numero uno for Wells Fargo lobbying.
Really? You don't say.
Really?
We're learning a lot here this afternoon on the Howie Carr Show. So in other words, you're saying the fix is in? Do you think John Stumpf is in line for a nice pardon from President Clinton when they pack him off, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, to prison next year?
Well, maybe John Podesta will hire him on as one of their lobbyists.
How much, have you checked this out, how much does Podesta get paid by Wells Fargo to protect their corrupt interests?
I want to say, according to Open Secrets, this is like $230,000, $280,000 in lobbying this past year.
It's not bad. Not bad. He needs a raise because he's got a lot more to protect. Thanks for the call.
The Howie Carr Show.
If someone you care about is struggling with addiction in any form, from alcohol and chemical dependency to gambling, gaming, or sex, there is hope and compassionate help available. Right Turn, located in Watertown, Massachusetts, offers extended care for addiction in a caring environment where each individual and family is treated with dignity and respect. Right Turn's experienced team includes intervention professionals, psychiatrists, physicians, social workers, and other top addiction specialists. Their approach is a unique combination of evidence-based treatment and creativity, using art, music, and writing to help individuals define themselves and become part of a community of creative people who support each other in recovery. Learn more about the wide range of services Right Turn can offer. From family interventions to extended housing, the journey to recovery can begin today. Visit right-turn.org.
People love to shop. What if you could shop and it was actually good for you? What if you could actually purchase items that bettered your life? What goes into your body is important to what quality of life you have. How about shopping for items that better your health? GetTheT.com is that shopping place. We're not only tea, even though that's our number one seller, we are about helping your health. There's Colostrum LD for those of you with autoimmune troubles. The product helps your stomach get on track. GI problems produce pain. Get relief with Colostrum LD. How about some fat burners? Or maybe some joint aid? Or a power cleanse? There's so much to tell you with very little time. So get help health-wise at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Or you can call our friendly operators at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. Get help and relief by going shopping. Shop at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Serving people with great products for over 8 years. GetTheT.com.
The Howie Carr Show.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat. Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
People love to shop. What if you could shop and it was actually good for you? What if you could actually purchase items that bettered your life? What goes into your body is important to what quality of life you have. How about shopping for items that better your health? GetTheT.com is that shopping place. We're not only tea, even though that's our #1 seller, we are about helping your health. There's colostrum LD for those of you with autoimmune troubles. The product helps your stomach get on track. GI problems produce pain. Get relief with colostrum LD. How about some fat burners? Or maybe some joint aid? Or a power cleanse? There's so much to tell you with very little time. So get help health-wise at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Or you can call our friendly operators at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. Get help and relief by going shopping. Shop at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Serving people with great products for over 8 years. GetTheT.com.
If someone you care about is struggling with addiction in any form, from alcohol and chemical dependency to gambling, gaming, or sex, there is hope and compassionate help available. Right Turn, located in Watertown, Massachusetts, offers extended care for addiction in a caring environment where each individual and family is treated with dignity and respect. Right Turn's experienced team includes intervention professionals, psychiatrists, physicians, social workers, and other top addiction specialists. Their approach is a unique combination of evidence-based treatment and creativity, using art, music, and writing to help individuals define themselves and become part of a community of creative people who support each other in recovery. Learn more about the wide range of services Right Turn can offer. From family interventions to extended housing, the journey to recovery can begin today. Visit right-turn.org.
People love to shop. What if you could shop and it was actually good for you? What if you could actually purchase items that bettered your life? What goes into your body is important to what quality of life you have. How about shopping for items that better your health? GetTheT.com is that shopping place. We're not only tea, even though that's our #1 seller, we are about helping your health. There's colostrum LD for those of you with autoimmune troubles. The product helps your stomach get on track. GI problems produce pain. Get relief with colostrum LD. How about some fat burners? Or maybe some joint aid? Or a power cleanse? There's so much to tell you with very little time. So get help health-wise at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Or you can call our friendly operators at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. Get help and relief by going shopping. Shop at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Serving people with great products for over 8 years. GetTheT.com.
If someone you care about is struggling with addiction in any form, from alcohol and chemical dependency to gambling, gaming, or sex, there is hope and compassionate help available. Right Turn, located in Watertown, Massachusetts, offers extended care for addiction in a caring environment where each individual and family is treated with dignity and respect. Right Turn's experienced team includes intervention professionals, psychiatrists, physicians, social workers, and other top addiction specialists. Their approach is a unique combination of evidence-based treatment and creativity, using art, music, and writing to help individuals define themselves and become part of a community of creative people who support each other in recovery. Learn more about the wide range of services Right Turn can offer. From family interventions to extended housing, the journey to recovery can begin today. Visit right-turn.org. If someone you care about is struggling with addiction in any form, from alcohol and chemical dependency to gambling, gaming, or sex, there is hope and compassionate help available. Right Turn, located in Watertown, Massachusetts, offers extended care for addiction in a caring environment where each individual and family is treated with dignity and respect. Right Turn's experienced team includes intervention professionals, psychiatrists, physicians, social workers, and other top addiction specialists. Their approach is a unique combination of evidence-based treatment and creativity, using art, music, and writing to help individuals define themselves and become part of a community of creative people who support each other in recovery. Learn more about the wide range of services Right Turn can offer. From family interventions to extended housing, the journey to recovery can begin today. Visit right-turn.org.
Live from the People's Republic of Massachusetts.
Our president basically said that we are lazy when it comes to world affairs.
It's the Curt Schilling Show. Don't want to be an American idiot.
Lena Dunham, in my book, she's a mulligan.
Don't want a nation under the new media.
If Bill Clinton would have done his job, there would have been no Bin Laden.
It get you with the sound of hysteria.
It's scary stuff how hard the media is attempting to skew the narrative.
The subliminal mind, America.
The next president that goes into the White House got to fix 8 years of absolute buffoonery and embarrassing representation of the United States of America around the world.
Troublemaker extraordinaire, Curt Schilling.
Welcome to the Curt Schilling Show. Live, coming from Boston. We are now up in New Hampshire, as I understand it. 844-900-3838 is the call-in number. CurtSchillingShow.com. You can watch it live. I am joined this week by Dean Prentice, who I'm just going to say he's my Jessica Mendoza, I'm assuming. He's my sidekick. Not as pretty.
You've gone down a couple classes. Jessica Mendoza. I mean, come on.
Yes.
You've downgraded.
So you're a sports talk veteran.
I'm a sports talk veteran up in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm sitting here right now. Curt Schilling, the bloody sock. I mean, it's all coming back to me now. Pretty excited.
And we're going to have some fun because we don't. In talking off air, we don't agree on everything, which is going to be really, really fun. But we're opening it up. We're going to start talking sports. We're going to talk life, social issues, politics, the debate, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the playoff picture this week, and then. But I think speaking of the NFL.
The first things first, we need to address the fact that you are not wearing a Gronkowski jersey right now.
Okay, we had Steve and I had a bet last week, and
a deal, Cap.
And the bet was the Steeler-Eagle game. I'm born and raised a Steeler fan.
Wow.
And they were edged out by the Eagles.
Edged out
37-3, I think. Well, and I would be wearing the Gronkowski jersey, but the jersey you brought in, I couldn't wear when I was 12.
Come on.
I couldn't.
Come on. No.
It's like a child's M.
No, it would absolutely fit you.
No, it wouldn't.
It would.
No,
it absolutely
you may be able
would.
to put it on, but it would not look good.
No, it would need to be latex for me to actually put on, but they got drubbed. And that was
Roethlisberger's my fantasy quarterback, by the way. Antonio Brown's my fantasy wife. So
well, you can't go wrong with Antonio Brown.
You can't.
No,
but we could use a few touchdowns.
Yeah, I got Drew Brees and that guy in Green Bay who's decent, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, so I'm feeling all right about that. I couldn't pick Roethlisberger. There's a moral thing there for me. Same reason I couldn't pick Randy Moss when I was in fantasy.
Morals go out the window for fantasy football.
And that's why I don't win.
There you go.
Yeah,
I have none, and I do fairly well.
Okay. So, again, speaking of the NFL rule change, I'm a Steeler fan first and foremost, but I love the amount of hatred, which I began to realize at ESPN for the Patriots, but the world itself. So they came up with this rule they wanted to stop the kick return from an injury perspective. They wanted to cut down on all these things. And as we know Bill Belichick is wont to do, he reads the rule and understands the implications, and the statistics are now overwhelmingly in favor of taking the touchback as the receiving team because you score on some like 70% of your possessions starting at the 25 and less than 40% at the 20. So they have kickers. The Patriots and the Ravens are both exploiting the rule. And the headlines are great. Fox Sports asks the NFL to stop the Patriots from exploiting new touchback rule. And then there's New York Post calls for the NFL to change the touchback rule to stop Bill Belichick. The Patriots and Ravens found the flaw in the. This is a liberal to the core issue. Everybody told them what was going to happen, and they did it anyway. And now Bill Belichick is doing the things he does, which is play by the rules.
Yeah, play by the rules and embarrass the NFL. I mean, embarrass the powers that be. I mean, Goodell right now has to. I mean, they've double middle fingered him. For 3 weeks now. They're 3-0. Backup quarterback, back up to the backup quarterback. And now they're flipping them off with the new rules, with the touchback, with the not kicking it through the end zone. So it's incredible to watch, and Roger Goodell's just got to be. He's got to be.
Well, listen, when Deflategate was found out to be, Deflategate was based on a complete and total fabrication, and once that came out, and that whole thing didn't just stop, you knew Goodell was pushing an agenda, and he is. He's at 30. I think he got a pay decrease this year to 30-something million.
And now you got Brady. Rough. Now you got Brady in Italy. I mean, that's another. You talk about
showing his bare ass.
I was just going to say, Curt, you're celebrity around here, Boston. I mean, people look at you differently than the rest of us. Now I got to ask you.
Nope.
Paparazzi.
Nope.
Never.
Would never show my ass in public.
Never show you.
Nope.
So nobody's walking around.
Did you ever have to deal with paparazzi?
Not really. No. I didn't hang out in the city of Boston.
Right.
So but no.
So you don't have any of the driftwood baby's arm comments going at you like they do with Tom Brady.
No, I get in enough trouble just opening my mouth, so I don't need paparazzi to create controversy.
Grace was back here like a CSI investigator with that picture, like enhance image,
sure
enhance image. Can we clarify?
Right. Right. Just like the Damon and Affleck video, I'm sure.
But how relaxed in Italy, hanging out with Giselle. I mean, your team's 3-0. I mean, for the rest of the league, for your friends at ESPN, I mean, this is just going to be driving people crazy.
And Curt, don't you think that there's some huge pressure on him though? Because if Belichick can come in and win with the backup and the backup to the backup, don't you think that when he comes back, the stakes are kind of a little bit higher for that game?
No, he has a bar so far beyond what anybody else sets for him, which is why he is who he is. Right. I mean, his pressure is, and I always felt like the pressure was on the player to his teammates, not to the coaches or the fans. But you want the 52 other guys he's suiting up with to know that, hey, this is my team and I run it, and nothing's changed. I think what's happened is Garoppolo's put himself in a position to get a monster contract, and they put themselves in a position to possibly trade and get a first-round pick.
So I think it'll be more than a first-round pick at this point.
I wouldn't disagree. When you see what the Eagles gave up for Bradford.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So
with the rule change, though, this was just a 1-year experiment. They're not going to continue this rule, or they'll find some other way to stop the Patriots, right?
Well, they'll find another way to impact the Patriots. This is the best coach in the history of the NFL. And again, coming from a Steeler fan who thinks Chuck Noll walks on water and did walk on water, what they've done over 15 years has never been done before in the NFL.
Yeah, it's been incredible. When the NFL is set up now for you not to be able to sustain excellence like they are, I mean, with a salary cap, and it's incredible what they've done.
So 2 things. We are on NH1 99.1 FM in New Hampshire, your stomping grounds. And Dr. Ben Carson will be joining us at the 9:30 mark at some point around there to talk about the state of the debate, the state of the country, and the lunacy that continues to be emitted and spewed by the left, which is just the gift that keeps on giving on a nightly basis. So, what else? Oh, Sox are in. They've clinched, and there's a lot going on. The wild card is going to be a lot of fun. You now have a 1-game separation between the Mets and the Cardinals, and a 1-game separation between Baltimore and Seattle. The people, I think, underestimate there was a rainout this week, Thursday, Detroit and Cleveland, which is going to make, I think there's a very likely chance that they will have to play that game, even if Detroit's out, for home field advantage for Cleveland-Boston series, because that's the matchup. It's going to be Boston and the Indians. So that could be a huge grind for the Indians, having to finish the season.
What an advantage for the Red Sox.
Yes.
I mean, the Indians are already devastated, let's face it. With the injuries, it's a miracle they are where they are. and then to have to play an extra game to get to the play-in, to get to the play, it's unbelievable.
Again, and so basically Boston lines up Porcello, Price, and I'm going to say Erod is their 1, 2, 3. Cleveland's got McAllister. Apparently Salazar might come back to pitch in the postseason, but that's a scary thing to begin with. And you got Bauer and Tomlin.
Yeah, if he comes back, what's that? I mean, he's going to be pitch limit 5 innings.
Well, no, there is
most,
no. You don't do that. You can't do that in the postseason. If he's going to come back in and he only has 80 pitches, then that to me that's a non-starter.
And you think Erod over Buchholz?
Oh, absolutely.
The way Buchholz threw the other day.
Well, but it's October 1st, so when the calendar changes, really good players change, and I'm not sure I would put him in that really good player category.
We've seen him go on a roll before, though.
Yeah, never in October.
Right, I'll give you that. Never in October.
So, but there's the matchups are turning interesting for me because now you got the Cubs playing the wild card. You got LA playing Washington. The LA is going to have a rested 3: Maeda, Kershaw, Rich Hill, who they've talked about their first 3. They're all lefties.
They're going to be a tough out.
They're going to be a tough out, except when you look at the numbers, they are by far one of the worst hitting teams in the big leagues against left-handed starting.
And there you go with Lester. That'll be
it. And so and then possibly a Baumgartner in the mix down the road, which is but that's why you don't want to play that. I like the fact that we've got back to win the division.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the whole wild. I'm not a big wild card fan. I got to be honest. I like to win the division.
I was not a wild card fan when it was a 5-game series, but having gotten to a World Series, I'm glad it was there.
It sure has worked out.
I'm glad it was there.
It's worked out well for you, I got to tell you.
But yeah, I like the fact that they put the emphasis back on winning the division and rewarding the division winners. But
what do you make of all the Big Papi celebrations going on? Isn't it a little overblown at this point?
Well, it's always overboard, and the first one to tell you that will be David Ortiz, because I don't think a lot of people understand how hard it is on a daily basis to mentally get prepared. That was the thing. Deion Sanders, Brian Jordan played the NFL, and they played in Major League Baseball, and both of them said playing in Major League Baseball is physically 100,000 times harder than the NFL.
The grind.
Because every day, it's not that you have a game every day, it's that you have a game against the best players in the world every day. And so those and baseball is a sport, much more precision sport in many ways than the NFL. Not to downgrade the athletic ability, because the NFL is every bit as athletic. But when your shoulder's bothering you or when your knee's bothering you and you're a pitcher, it affects your ability to do the things that you have to do. So, but I thought that was kind of fascinating. But
there's no recovery time.
No,
it's 162 games. You're playing every day. People laugh about it, but if you go out and stand on your feet all day in any job you have, stand on your feet, then get up and do it again the next day. There's just no people, call baseball players soft in some circles. 162 games. I haven't done it. I've watched you do it. It's got to be a grind.
Well, as a starting pitcher, I was in the perfect place to be. Make a lot of money, work once every 5 days.
It's fine to call baseball players soft around here in these circles.
No, it actually isn't. I'm a quasi-celebrity according to Grace, too. 844-900-3838. CurtSchillingShow.com. We're going to go to a break here. We'll be back in a minute. We got Dr. Ben Carson coming up in about 15 minutes. And then in the 11:30 hour, Ajit Pai, the FCC commissioner, will explain to all of you why what happened at midnight last night will change the internet as we know it forever.
The Curt Schilling Show.
Hey, it's the car guys, Joe and Bill. I'm Bill Papageorge, your pre-owned auto buying consultant. When you're in the market for a new pre-owned vehicle, call me at 330-CAR-GUYS. My associate Joe and I can make car buying easy. We will meet with you in person at your home, office, or anywhere. Together we will find what you're looking for, year, make, color, model, options. Then we locate that exact vehicle for you through our vast inventory network. But first, this car must pass our rigid 120-point safety and performance guidelines before we deliver it to you. Car Guy approved. Fully serviced and just like new. We started our business knowing that you hate going to a dealership for all the obvious reasons. Limited inventory, high-pressure salesmen, added costs from building and staff overhead. We remove all this from the equation. The Car Guys save you time and money. We even provide financing for all. Take trade-ins for top dollar and can even take the hassle out of selling your present car.
Give us a call at 1-800-300-4600. That's 1-800-300-4600.
At Granite State Indoor Range and Gun Shop, our range is not a gym in the typical sense, but we do encourage a certain type of exercise, and that exercise is called freedom. So majestic. For the month of July, and because it's America's birthday, we have a couple of sweet deals that'll help get a little extra freedom pumping through your veins. All month long, if you purchase a new firearm or take any one of our magnificent training classes, you get a free 60-day range pass. That means no lane fees for 2 months. On top of that, if you bring a new shooter to the range, we'll waive their lane fees just for trying us out. And remember, all new firearms purchases come with a lifetime warranty, try before you buy program, and a 30-day no-regrets policy. So come check out New England's friendliest range, firearm store, and training center. We're open and shooting 7 days a week, or you can visit our website anytime at granitestaterange.com to sign up for classes and get more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook for the latest deals and, of course,
all these cat pictures! God bless America for these cat pictures!
Granite State Indoor Range and Gun Shop, purveyors of freedom.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Work with your doctor when taking medications. Make Protovite part of your healthy lifestyle.
HealthForLiberty.com is your source for Protovite, a powerful nutritional supplement that's a true breakthrough for your health. Poor digestion makes it nearly impossible to absorb the nutrition your body needs. Protovite is a liquid multi-nutrient formula with patent-pending absorption technology and the highest quality ingredients to nourish every cell in your body.
My name is Sandra White. 6 weeks ago, when I started taking Protovite, I was on 14 medications, from everything for blood pressure to fibromyalgia. In the first 10 days, my blood sugar dropped 50 points, and my fibromyalgia pain is gone. And so was 12 of the 14 medications that I was taking. I'm 66, living life and loving it.
Go to healthforliberty.com right now. That's healthforliberty.com.
Thank you, Protovite, for giving my life back.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
Yeah, you saw the sock. He's a red-blooded American. This is the Curt Schilling Show.
On the transgender thing, you said a man is a man no matter what they call themselves. I don't care what they are, who they sleep with. Men's room was designated for the penis, women's not so much. Now you need laws telling us differently? Pathetic.
Right.
Okay. Well, there you go.
He was waiting for me to disavow him. I said it. I believe it. I mean, is that sexist, homophobic, transphobic, race? I thought it was just common knowledge.
One of the reasons, I mean, one of the things I'm here to, I'm kind of in the middle, not hard right like you, not hard left, but you couldn't have said it any better. That was perfect. Well, if you have a penis, go to the men's room. If you don't like it, go in a stall.
And somebody somewhere needed a safe space after they heard that. That's the one that gets me. But Curt Schilling in with Dean Prentice, 844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. You can watch it live. Dr. Ben Carson coming up here in a little bit. But we got to talk about this. So this is out of Zero Hedge. Meet the young Virginia Democrat that registered 19 dead people to vote in Virginia. And you can't make it up.
Yeah, that's tough.
I would try, and you couldn't make this stuff up. Just yesterday, we wrote about an FBI investigation into a potential voter fraud in the critical swing state of Virginia after it was revealed that 19 dead people had recently been re-registered to vote. They are all dead. Here you go. Meet Andrew Spiels, a student at James Madison University, that conservative cornerstone, and apparently lead organizer for HarrisburgVotes.com. According to the Daily News Record, Spiels confessed to re-registering 19 deceased Virginians to vote in the 2016 election cycle. Here's the shocking piece. While this should come as a surprise to precisely 0 people, Spiels just happens to be a Democrat who, according to a deleted Facebook post, apparently recently ran for caucus chair of Virginia Young Democrats. I think this was like the hazing or the way you get into Acorn or MoveOn.org and in those groups.
They've got like sales totals, like it's Wells Fargo. They've got to create enough. Right. They've got to register. You register 50 dead people, and you move up another level within the organization.
Here's my beef. Right. This is I look at that's a felony. That's tampering with an election.
Oh, absolutely. Throw this guy in jail.
Right.
Send a message.
But this is much like the Clinton scandals. They try to put language on it that softens up what it actually is. The foundation of this country is our ability to cast a vote for who we want in office. And it's happening in Colorado, too.
And you're fairly certain all 19 are voting Democrat at this point.
It's funny. It's funny how the dead people tend to vote for Democrats.
Much like the district in Philadelphia, that last election, there was not one vote for anybody but Obama.
Yeah, I just want to point out you guys are assuming the dead people are voting in this country on the Democratic side of the ticket.
Again, I don't think it's any shock that this kid is applying as the caucus chair for the Virginia Young Democrats.
And I think the Democrats will say, "Oh yeah, he registered them, but they didn't vote. He wasn't going to go in and vote for
them." The 19 applications of the citizens were submitted by Spiels through an organization called Harrisburg Votes. According to the organization's About Us page, it is a nonpartisan voter registration organization in Harrisburg, Virginia, and the surrounding areas. So all of the conspiracy theory crap and things that people talk about and then liberals get on conservatives for, it's not. It's true. It's happening.
Well, you saw Arkan Chetan. He's the Cascade Mall shooter out in Washington, the guy that walked into Macy's and killed 5 Americans.
Initially Hispanic man?
Yes. Well, it turns out he's a Turkish immigrant. He registered to vote and voted 3 times.
Right.
And he's a legal permanent resident, not a U.S. citizen. Right. He hadn't been naturalized. So how was he voting? And there's like 13 million legal permanent residents in the United States. All of them could potentially vote in the same way that Arkan did.
And then you have our buddy George Soros running around the globe trying to get voters that are American citizens.
Expats. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I mean, if it's legal for them to vote, why not?
Right.
It's just obviously they're going to be
he's only
of a certain persuasion.
He's only doing that because he knows that they're far strong, far left people. Which so the Dems are up to their normal stuff. And again, I still believe the saying, if by some miracle she was to be elected president, it would basically tell the rest of the world that there is no level of corruption too bad for the American people. This is a woman who has no business being anywhere but in an orange jumpsuit with a big long number on it, breaking rocks. And she's the Democratic nominee, the Democratic frontrunner. And the nominee, which makes
I think she's the front runner in the race right now after the week Trump just had.
And I don't, because I think that I don't buy the polls. I just don't. I don't care if they have him up or they have him down. Anytime the LA Times says he's up by like 4 to 8 times whatever they say he is in my mind, because for them to admit that. But since Brexit, I'm done. I'm done with polls.
I think he might have. I mean, she may have got a little bump after the debates. That's kind of the feeling I got watching it, then watching the polls. But I think he's kind of kept things under wraps on purpose, maybe in that first debate. I don't know.
Well,
I think he made some mistakes.
Part of what we hold out is that he's this wily, snaky, he's just setting him up for something. I don't think he is. I think once she called him a ninny and he started going
lost his mind,
petulant 6th grader, they got what they want. But she's going to have to do it for 2 more debates. She has nothing. She can't come to the debate with a foundation of success and achievement and say, I did this and I did, and because like he said, 26 years, now you want to fix the country? CurtSchillingShow.com, 844-900-3838. folks up in New Hampshire, NH1 99.1 FM. Back in a minute.
Hey, it's the Curt Schilling Show.
Foodforliberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, Foodforliberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, Foodforliberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to foodforliberty.com.
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
Some athletes sit down. Not this guy. Standing up for America. It's Curt Schilling.
So here's what I hope you will do. When you leave here, if somebody says, "Where were you this afternoon?" You say, "Oh, I went to a rally for Hillary Clinton." If they say, "Oh, that's great, get them registered." If they say, "Oh my gosh, how can you do that?" If they're seriously thinking about voting for my opponent, stage an intervention.
I just have gag reflex when I hear that.
Get him registered, dead or alive.
I'm sorry. I just the depths of that her evil is indescribable. CurtSchillingShow.com, 844-900-3838. I am joined now by my choice for president when all this began, a man of incredible achievement, a man of God, a man of faith, and just an overall good human being, Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Carson, how are you?
I'm good, and good to be with you again.
Thank you. My first question to you is something I'm sure everybody's asked you. What your thoughts coming out of the debate the other night? Off the top of your head, what were your thoughts?
Well, I thought that Donald actually did okay. Was a lot of stuff left on the table? Of course. But there are two more debates.
Right.
And if he talks about all of them, everything on the first debate, the next two debates, they're going to say, oh, he's just talking about the same old stuff. So in a way, it gives him a chance to recoup and to recognize, what the perils are of one-on-one debates. Because, again, that's not something that he's been involved in before. She's been involved in it many times. So I think now he has a chance to see that, when your opponent is talking, instead of, making faces and doing things, you jot down notes about what they're saying so that you can respond to them.
Right.
Very precisely. And then you use the rest of your time to talk about your plan, how you're going to lay things out.
Yeah, I think that.
I think that's a lesson that he has learned, and I think you'll see a different Donald Trump on the second debate.
Well, I think that's the upside. Yeah, the upside is I don't think he has anywhere to go but up, and not from a negative perspective, but he'll get better at this, and people will see that he is a guy that can adapt and learn as he goes.
Right, and I don't think there's anything wrong with actually verbally making the point. When she tries to lead him down a rat hole, say, look, Hillary, I understand that your policies are bankrupt and that you don't really want to talk about the issues and you want to try to lead me down a rat hole, but guess what? I'm not going there because this is too important. We got to talk about the things that are important to the American people. That would just be putting a dagger in her.
Well, because she cannot come to any of these debates armed with a list of accomplishments or achievements. She has to attack him. She has to draw him out because she can't stand on a record. She doesn't.
Exactly.
You would wish she could stand on a federal criminal record, but that we know that's a ship that sailed.
And she can't stand on Obama's record either,
no.
And what's been going on for the last 7 or 8 years.
Well,
and that's why they know they have to make it about him. That's the only chance they have.
Well,
and he's got to recognize that.
In what other alternate universe could you have two people that dislike each other so much as Obama and Clinton do, and say the things that they said about each other 4 years ago, and then now he utters the phrase, "There's never been anyone more qualified." I mean, come on. But they, that's the scary part for me is I think the liberals and Democrats are playing us for stupid in a way that I think we're underestimating. I mean, they're counting on
the press. The press is the ones who are really stupid because they don't realize that if we continue down this road, their liberties will be restricted also. They're going to go down with the rest of us. They don't realize.
No.
So, they have neglected the responsibility that they have to be the voice of the people and to be an honest broker. Instead, they have decided that they want to take sides, that they know what's best for the people, and that anything goes. And that's a real problem.
Well, I think last night at midnight with the internet, control of the internet being ceded by the United States is a great example of that because I don't think anybody's really understanding what that's going to mean. The internet's going to change forever. So again, you were my guy. You were my guy, and I had, I know we talked before, and I wanted you to get the nomination. I wanted you to be the next president. What's next for you, and what do you have future plans you would be willing to share with us?
Well, first of all, I do believe that God has it under control, and we each play a role in His overall plan. And I think what's needed right now, because of the level of corruption and the way things are fixed, which is astonishing. I could talk about that forever. You need sort of a bull in a china shop, quite frankly, to break through it. And we will get what we need. Now, in terms of the role that I play, I do not want to be in the government. I don't want to be the secretary of anything. But I do want to help. I want to help, with the health care, because we spend twice as much per capita as many other nations, and yet we have horrible access. We can do so much better than this. I want to help with education. I want to help with a variety of different things, and we'll continue to work with Donald Trump on those things, assuming that he's elected, which I actually think he will be,
I do
despite all the things that you're hearing, because just look at some of the things that have happened. In the day after the debate, he raised $18 million in one day. I think that's the biggest one-day total anybody's ever raised. So it tells you that the people are not discouraged by any stretch of the imagination. He won the majority of the online polls. The next day in Florida, he had a crowd of 30,000 people on a Tuesday night. Hillary's getting 300 people. and you're seeing this phenomenon all over the country. So, the media doesn't cover it because they want people to think that things are not going well for him. Things are going very well. And they're going to go a lot better once he learns how important it is to think in terms of the people and the nation and not be affected by personal attacks.
So I got to...
And I do understand. Because I used to be like that.
Right.
I used to get so angry when somebody would do anything, and I really didn't care what the consequences were. I just went after them.
Right.
That's not a sign of strength. That's actually a sign of weakness.
I'm going to tap into your medical history here and ask you a healthcare question, and it's about Gary Johnson. I'm against legalization of marijuana because I think it would create another large burden on our healthcare system. Every time I see him interviewed, I think of the old commercial where they were frying the egg on the pan and they say, "This is your brain on drugs."
Yeah.
Seriously, part of the Trump victory for me is going to be that he's going to take votes away from Hillary Clinton. But, really?
And what is Aleppo?
Well, there are many, many studies, medical studies, that have demonstrated that exposure to marijuana in a developing brain is quite detrimental. And the brain continues to develop until your late 20s. So, it can actually lower your IQ. We already have enough people at low IQs. We don't need to be inducing more.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Dr. Carson, this is Dean. This is Dean Prentice. All the racial divide in this country right now, it's alarming to me and to many other guys that haven't, quite frankly, decided who they're voting for. I don't like, right now, you would have been my choice if you were in place of Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is trailing in the polls in the black vote by a substantial margin. And is it too late in the game for him to change that? Can you help him swing that vote? What does he have to do to help swing that?
Well, the important thing is that he's actually making an effort. And this is not something that we've seen, with the Republican Party for decades now. So he's at least going into these communities. He's offering some alternatives. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that he's going to win the majority. But I think you might be surprised how many he does win, because a lot of people will not tell you that they're going to vote for him because of the social consequences of that. But when they get in the privacy of that booth, that's a different story altogether. But I think, if he wins, when he runs again, you're going to see a big shift there, because he's going to actually do things. He's going to actually have school choice and a voucher program. He's going to actually look at, prison reform and how we can educate people in prison and give them some skills so that they have a different pathway when they come out. We don't have all this high recidivism rate. He wants to look at some of the government policies that lead to broken families, particularly in inner cities. So we have so many kids growing up without a father which I think is a huge source of the problem. He wants to go back to the source of these things and actually deal with them. The very thing that the Democrats don't want to do, because it's to their benefit to have all this dependency.
Yeah, they were built on it. I mean, they were literally, starting in the 30s, the Democrats have built in that dependency, which is why they are still who they are. Otherwise, because you bring people out of poverty and they're no longer dependent on a big government.
Exactly, and they need that. And also, you look back, I know they hate it when I talk about Saul Alinsky, but I mean, he was like the original community organizer, a real radical who did not like America as it was and wanted it fundamentally changed. And he said one of the keys is we have to create friction between the people, particularly racial friction and particularly class friction.
They've done it.
And that's why you see so much emphasis on those things.
Yeah, they've done it. So I love, I've always enjoyed, excuse me, looking and talking to people who are great at what they do, in a lot of ways, going over and doing post-mortem on things. And I want to ask you, if you could go back to the beginning of the primary, is there anything you would change, any dramatic change you would have made or would have wanted to do differently?
Well, of course, I know a great deal more now about how to deal with the media. So that in itself would have made a tremendous difference. Because, initially I just felt if you're just honest, everything will take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've learned you've got to be honest, but you also have to know how to play their game and how they try to manipulate things and twist things. So, I've learned that now, and that's a good thing.
Well, and I will tell you, as a supporter and as someone who will always be in your corner, I felt like when you were on the debate stage that you had a hard time presenting yourself or giving off that vibe of leadership. It wasn't an intelligence thing. It was more of a kind of a presence thing. I know you're up on the stage with 9 different people, but that was the one thing I wanted to, because I knew I researched you. I understand what kind of human being you are. I wanted the rest of the world to see that leader, that out in front guy.
And it's generally just not my nature to be a Budinsky.
Mm-hmm.
It just isn't. And it was very clear that the moderators of the debates were not really interested in solutions. They were interested in fights.
Right. No,
they were in it for entertainment and not for information.
I think in the general election, the debate has become an outmoded tool. I think, you don't run the country in 90-minute oral arguments. And I think that the moderators have become as important a piece of the news cycle as the debates themselves. And I think that we've screwed that up.
We don't really get anything out of the debates as far as I'm concerned. I watched the debate hoping we'd talk about issues and what's the president going to do for me and my country. And instead it's turned into a mudslinging. It's turned into a mudslinging event. It's kind of sickening to watch, actually.
This week post-debate.
WWE Raw.
Right, but the topic is Miss Universe.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Which has nothing to do with running our country.
Or it's the left attacks the right attacks the left. Who can outdo who as far as mudslinging goes? And that's not what people that are on the fence and don't know who to vote for want to hear. I want solutions. I want to know what's going to happen in the next 4 years, not what you did 30 years ago from either side, quite frankly.
Exactly. And, the philosophical differences between the Republican platform and the Democrat platform are vast and greatly to the advantage of Donald Trump if he will seize upon those things and talk about that and force Hillary to defend the Democratic platform, which he will not be able to do in any kind of a reasonable way. And he's got to keep bringing it back to that and make it very clear to the public. You see, she doesn't want to talk about that. Why do you think that is?
Right.
Here's what I'm going to do. What is she going to do about this? If he would just keep hammering her on that, he would win in a landslide.
At the end of the debate, when he said, basically, you've been in government for 26 years and now you're going to start fixing stuff. I mean, that in and of itself, in a nutshell, that's all she has. So, Dr. Carson, listen, thank you so much for taking time out this morning. I know you're a busy man, but I appreciate it. Send our best to your better half.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk again.
And thanks for your patriotism.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
CurtSchillingShow.com, 844-900-3838. We will be back in a minute.
The Curt Schilling Show.
Hello, America. Horribly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I gotta say, some people get distressed over words spoken in the presidential campaign. To wit, Player 1 calls Player 2 a hideous hermaphroditical character which has neither the force and firmness of a man nor the gentleness and sensibility of a woman. So Player 2 labels Player 1 a fool, a hypocrite, a criminal, and a tyrant. And this was Jefferson and Adams 200 years ago. My friends, if Windows progressed like politics, Matthews Brothers would still be making single-pane wood windows. Instead, they make thermally efficient, structurally sound, incredibly constructed eye candy for your home. You gotta see their wicked awesome Maine-made windows, but only at better lumber yards and window professionals throughout New England or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers with one T, America's oldest window manufacturer.
For 20 years, Helping Hands of America has made donating your car, truck, or boat to a local charity so easy, and it's tax deductible too. All you have to do is call 888-881-9090 and donate your vehicle, running or not, to Association of Blind Citizens, Sacred Hearts Missions, or Meals on Wheels. Donate your car or boat today to a local charity right here in New England. And pickup is fast and free. Call 888-881-9090 or visit their website at helpinghandsofamerica.org.
People wait all year long for it, and it's finally here. The Hallmark Keepsake Ornament debut starts October 1st at the Paper Store. Over 100 new Hallmark ornaments with special deals and bonus points. Add to your collection, start a new tradition, or commemorate a special occasion. As your favorite Hallmark Gold Crown store, the Paper Store is the destination for Hallmark. Don't miss this once-a-year event. The Hallmark Keepsake Ornament debut starts October 1st at the Paper Store.
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If your home has hard water and it's leaving white spots, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes. Limescale can cost hundreds of dollars a year in wasted energy and early appliance breakdown. HydroCare systems available at Wave Home Solutions prevent and remove limescale with just a simple filter change every 3 years. There are no salts, chemicals, or magnetic coils. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, just go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
He saved Boston from the curse of the Bambino. Now, he's saving America from the curse of stupidity.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
What do you think?
This is the Curt Schilling Show.
CurtSchillingShow.com, 844-900-3838. Hello to NH1 in New Hampshire, 99.1 FM. Thanks for leading off. We're going to talk politics on the other side of the hour, but right now I think, again, 844-900-3838. This is David's last weekend in the regular season as a Red Sox homering yesterday. Just prophetic.
First at bat, drives in a run, so everybody's all excited. Then he brings the house down last night.
What home run were you more excited about, Poppy's or Tebow's? Because I got to throw up my leg when I
why
heard
you gotta go there?
Tebow hit that home run.
That's
just he's just an amazing human being.
Blind
real
squirrel,
specimen of
blind
man.
squirrel got a nut, and it was his first swing. So everybody makes a big deal.
That blew me away. I was very impressed because those aren't margin. Those are the league. Those are the top prospects from different organizations. But he has no chance of playing in the big leagues. And I wouldn't bet against him. I want him to succeed because I think he's a strong a man of faith and all that. But it's just not. I was a good hitter in high school.
It's not that easy.
I was a good hitter in high school.
Yeah.
That was what they said. Sheffield said he was a really good hitter in high school. Well, okay. So was everybody that I've ever talked to that said, yeah. You know how many people I've run into that said to me, man, I really wish I hadn't stopped playing baseball in high school. And I come out now, I say, well, no, you made the right choice.
Yeah, good move.
Like, no, that's okay. You did good.
You get the comments. Why didn't you just go pro?
Right.
If you're a good player.
It's just like being in the big leagues and talking. At the end of everybody's career, they'll say, I think I'm just going to go and play on the tour. I'm going to go for the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
So
Seniors Tour now.
Well, the problem is that every person that buys a ticket to a baseball game, for the most part, they all played the sport. Not the same for the NFL or the NBA.
It's the beauty of the game, really.
Right. So you've got the 680-pound nacho-eating dude in the outfield going, dude, you got to catch that ball. And he can't get out of his seat.
How did you not hit that fastball?
Right. Back in a minute. CurtSchillingShow.com, 844-900-3838. I'm Curt Schilling.
The Curt Schilling Show.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If your home has hard water and it's leaving white spots, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes. Limescale can cost hundreds of dollars a year in wasted energy and early appliance breakdown. HydroCare systems available at Wave Home Solutions prevent and remove limescale with just a simple filter change every 3 years. There are no salts, chemicals, or magnetic coils. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, just go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, FoodForLiberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, FoodForLiberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to foodforliberty.com. FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, FoodForLiberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, FoodForLiberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to foodforliberty.com.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. As many of you could probably guess, I love to shop. But you know what I don't love? Waiting in long lines at the dressing room and dealing with crowded parking lots at the mall. Or in my case, being bombarded by gaggles of adoring fans. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I can imagine it'd be a hassle. But luckily for me, I can get all of my shopping done at the most convenient store in the country. The Howie Carr Show online store at howiecarrshow.com makes shopping easy, convenient, and most importantly, affordable. Whether I want a Hillary for Prison t-shirt or a copy of Brothers Bulger to read poolside, I always go to howiecarrshow.com. And when I'm on pug duty, I love whipping out my Hillary doggy poop bag to help clean up after Gunnar and Pearl. There is no better and cheaper store around than the Howie Carr Show online store. So go to howiecarrshow.com and click on store. There is always a great deal waiting for you, and I can guarantee all of your friends will be super jealous when you show up to the next BBQ decked out in the latest awesome t-shirt, courtesy of the captain himself. Go to howiecarrshow.com now. That's howiecarrshow.com. Click store.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Work with your doctor when taking medications. Make Protovite part of your healthy lifestyle.
HealthForLiberty.com is your source for Protovite, a powerful nutritional supplement that's a true breakthrough for your health. Poor digestion makes it nearly impossible to absorb the nutrition your body needs. Protovite is a liquid multi-nutrient formula with patent-pending absorption technology and the highest quality ingredients to nourish nourish every cell in your body.
My name is Sandra White. 6 weeks ago, when I started taking Protovite, I was on 14 medications, from everything for blood pressure to fibromyalgia. In the first 10 days, my blood sugar dropped 50 points, and my fibromyalgia pain is gone. And so was 12 of the 14 medications that I was taking. I'm 66, living life and loving it.
Go to healthforliberty.com right now. That's healthforliberty.com.
Thank you, Protovite, for giving my life back.
People love to shop. What if you could shop and it was actually good for you? What if you could actually purchase items that bettered your life? What goes into your body is important to what quality of life you have. How about shopping for items that better your health? GetTheT.com is that shopping place. We're not only tea, even though that's our number one seller, we are about helping your health. There's Colostrum LD for those of you with autoimmune troubles. The product helps your stomach get on track. GI problems produce pain. Get relief with Colostrum LD. How about some fat burners? Or maybe some joint aid? Or a power cleanse? There's so much to tell you with very little time. So get help health-wise at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Or you can call our friendly operators at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. Get help and relief by going shopping. Shop at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Serving people with great products for over 8 years. GetTheT.com.
Live from the People's Republic of Massachusetts.
Our president basically said that we are lazy when it comes to world affairs.
It's the Curt Schilling Show.
Don't want to be an American idiot. Lena Dunham, in my book, she's a bullion. Don't want a nation under the new media. If Bill Clinton would have done his job, there would have been no Bin Laden. It get you with the sound of hysteria. It's scary stuff how hard the media is attempting to skew the narrative. The subliminal mind, America. The next president that goes into the White House got to fix 8 years of absolute buffoonery and embarrassing representation of the United States of America around the world.
Troublemaker extraordinaire, Curt Schilling.
844-900-3838 is the call-in number. CurtSchillingShow.com. I'm Curt Schilling. I'm here with Dean Prentice. You people up in New Hampshire listening on NH1 99.1 FM, welcome to a different place. A very, very different place. We are going to have a caller here in just a second who I want to inform you guys. Andrew Kaczynski is the gentleman's name. He's a political reporter for BuzzFeed. He's basically been called the Oppenheimer of archival video research. He's an opposition researcher. And for those of you that don't know BuzzFeed is a website that posts cat memes and list cows. You know, the top 10 things you can do with a tomato kind of place. But I'm interested in hearing this gentleman's perspective because he's a liberal and we clearly disagree.
And
Andrew, what's going on?
You blocked him on Twitter.
I did block him on Twitter.
You guys have a long-running feud that
I guess
needs to
we
be
do.
resolved
We're going to
today.
find out. Sure.
I'm going to sit back and watch this.
What's up, Andrew?
Hey, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. What's going on, man?
Hey, Curt, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. You gotta unblock me, man.
Okay.
On Twitter.
Because why?
I looked at it. The last tweet I had at you, I tweeted, "Do you even Reagan, bro?" And after that, our communication was kind of cut off.
Yeah, so I basically block people that are dicks or people that say things that add nothing to a conversation. I'm not so I thought it was a dick comment. That's why.
Yeah, well, I am kind of a dick. So
no, and that's okay.
Profile.
Part of curing a problem is admitting you have it. That's the first piece, right? Right. So talk to me about the Trump deposition video.
So you know what? I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at the Trump deposition video.
Okay.
On Friday, I was covering the Trump Machado deal, which I'm sure you're all aware about.
Yeah.
Andrew, have you seen the softcore porn video that Trump was allegedly in or apparently in?
Oh yeah, I was the one who found it. I've seen the whole Trump porn video.
And
from start to finish.
And
it's pretty good. I mean, it's very porny. Trump's there's women touching themselves, rubbing each other naked, and Trump kind of comes in the middle when the Playmates are in New York City, and pops some champagne on the Playboy limo, and then he's out.
I'm watching it right now. It's pretty good.
I could. That's a reason to pop champagne, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
How old was that? When was that from?
From 2000. I have the VHS if you'd like a copy.
No, I don't need a copy. I'm good. I'm more than okay with that. So I'm just still laughing about the whole Miss Universe thing. And that the fact that that's still in the news cycle is laughable to me.
I agree with you, but I'm wondering if we're even going to be talking about this next week. I'm wondering if this is going to die out over the weekend. I guess it's kind of up to Trump. If he stops. I think if he stops talking about it, it'll go away. But there's always the chance with him that there's going to be a tweet at 1, 2 in the morning where he's going to bring it back up.
Yeah. So what's wrong with tweeting at 1 or 2 in the morning? I do it. You do it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
it. Right.
I don't.
No, I was saying because Hillary was jumping all over him for who gets up and goes on a rant at 3 a.m. and I was like, I do. I'm still up a lot of times and I'm going on rants at people that say dumb stuff. So I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I think there are people who might think that maybe that isn't presidential, as they say.
Right.
And the fact that he was inviting the general public to watch a sex tape, which I think might be a first in presidential politics.
Right. He's done a lot of firsts. You have to admit, he's been doing a lot of firsts.
He has definitely broken a lot of records this year. That's right.
Yeah, and I got to ask. So I got a couple questions about your job, but what is it like to go back and listen to 2 decades of Howard Stern looking for dirt?
It's great. Considering, it's literally awesome. Like when you have to watch, I have to listen to a lot of talk radio for my job.
Right.
Because I got to listen. I was literally just listening to your show, which is how I ended up calling in because Ben Carson was on. Because I got to listen to Ben Carson on the radio. I got to listen to every Republican politician from Senate to Congressman, governor on the radio every day to see what they're saying. When you go from that to Howard Stern, your life becomes exponentially better.
Right.
So the 2 days of my life where I was able to just listen to 12 years of Donald Trump Howard Stern interviews was the best part of this entire year for me.
Okay, so I got to tell you, the mind-boggling thing to me is that you're clearly liberal. Yes.
No, not really.
Okay.
When I was in not really.
All right.
I wouldn't say clearly liberal.
Okay, so who are you voting for?
I'm not going to say.
Really?
I don't.
Okay, so you're voting for Clinton. That's interesting. That's interesting because that's what Clinton voters.
No. If I told you who I was voting for as a journalist, I'd then have my mentions would look like your mentions are, and I'd be hit up with people. So it's a private thing.
And what is Aleppo?
Yeah.
He's the gift that keeps on giving right now. My goodness. But so how did you get caught up?
What do you think about Gary Johnson though?
I have yet to see him not high. So when I do that, I'll be able to give you something. I think I don't understand. Well,
Drugs
listen.
are bad, man.
What? Yeah. Well, listen. That's your brain on weed right there. That's what happened to Jeff Spicoli after he graduated from high school. A nice guy, but we're in a time and a place where the presidential candidates are somewhat mind-boggling, and I think say more about us as a people than they do about them.
Yeah, and I think at this point in the election, my perspective from the last election I covered was 2012, and my perspective is the election gets progressively dumber the closer we get to Election Day. So every day from now to Election Day will be dumber than the last. So it's going to be really fun.
Well, 2012, we doubled down on our enormous mistake of 2008. October surprise from WikiLeaks, yes or no?
I don't think WikiLeaks. I think the DC leak site, the Russian, the one that's been linked to Russian intelligence that posted the Colin Powell emails, and just this week they had the Clinton, tape recordings of the Clinton fundraisers. I think it's pretty possible that they could have a pretty big story, possibly that they give to reporters before the election's over. But I don't know about WikiLeaks. I feel like WikiLeaks is kind of who knows with them?
Right.
Who really knows what they're doing?
Right. I mean, so where are you on? And I say this as begrudgingly admitting I'm a member of the media, I guess, but I just can't say that and not feel embarrassed to say that based on what I think the media is now. Where are you on the media in general, the American media? I mean, let me tell you where I am, and you tell me if you feel like that's close. I think they have made it very clear that there's an agenda to get Hillary Clinton elected, in addition to the managing editor of The Guardian coming out and actually saying our job is to get Hillary Clinton elected. Why are we still buying the media as a source?
I think the media has done good reporting this year. I mean, I don't know about The Guardian is a British newspaper, but
right, but it leans as far left as Stalin, so I mean,
yeah, I think there are people who on the right and conservatives who have legitimate gripes about the media at times, and I think, as people on the far left as well actually have a lot of gripes about the media. But I mean, you obviously disagree with me, but I think this year there have been issues in regards to how Trump has been covered and how Clinton has been covered. But I'm going to defend the media here and think we've done a good job.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't call it. I think it's an absolutely. I don't think they're trying to hide it anymore. I mean, I think they've gone as extreme as both ends.
Hey, but doesn't it matter which side you're looking at? I mean, if you pick up a certain newspaper, you're going to be far right, another one's far left. I mean, aren't they both trying to get their person elected?
Yeah. Yes.
To me,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that I think this year it's just been a very interesting year because, I think I tune out. So there are too many controversies for me to keep up with them all.
Mm-hmm.
So on the morning, there will be Trump controversies that I just totally skip, and right. I'm just I'm tuning this out. This will be over in 6 hours. So I get the part about being exhausted about the media's coverage.
Hey Andrew, it's Steve here. What do you make of all the controversy going on at Fox? Do you think that Fox is going to be around long term without Roger Ailes?
I think Fox will be around long term. I don't know what the picture is going to look like. I think it really depends on how much influence the Murdoch sons have and what they do, because what Bill O'Reilly could retire, Hannity could go do whatever Hannity does. I think Fox will be around. I think the question will be, what is Fox going to look like? And I think that really depends on what the Murdoch sons want to do. Do they want to keep the same course that Roger Ailes set, or do they want to take it in an entirely new direction?
So here's where I would stand up and have a beef with you about the media. The Black Lives Matter movement, which was founded on the hands up, don't shoot lie, and then further propagated by a movement founded on and with data that's not true. There is not a disproportional amount of aggression from police officers to minorities in the sense that murders and all of the things going on. Colin Kaepernick kneels and the place goes berserk and cheers because he's kneeling for a cause. And in my mind, he's kneeling for a lie. And I think the media has perpetrated that lie to a degree that people have gotten killed because of it.
I think Colin Kaepernick's perspective, and I think people can, think about it the way they want to think about it, is more that he, whether they support him or not, I think that he thinks that athletes have a role in protesting for social change. And I think that's something we, first saw with black athletes in the 1960s, 1970s. And I think that's what he thinks about his roles. And I think people can, kind of agree or disagree whether they support that or don't like that.
Yeah, but what's the narrative that he's kneeling for? What is the message that he's trying to pass?
I think that he, thinks that I think there are a lot of problems in the black community. I think from the perspective of someone like him, someone growing up in the black community, there's not this view that many people in the white community have, that, you know, the police officers are there to help. Police officers are there to be for them. There's a different, you know, you view police completely differently in the context of where you were raised and how you grew up. And I just think,
well, hold on a second. He did not grow up in a black community. He was adopted by two white parents. So
okay. I mean, yeah. I haven't really covered the Colin Kaepernick thing. I don't know much about his actual background.
But when you
I just feel like, but still for him, like, being, you know, for his perspective is that he's advocating for social change.
Right.
So you guys have been talking for like 12 minutes now. Is this Twitter beef? Is this resolved? I feel like you guys have like a budding bromance here.
Well, no, there's no budding bromance. I mean, he's clearly a rational guy, though, who's not as...
I think there's a budding bromance.
Okay, well, you can see that. It's the
is he going to be unblocked? Is he going to be unblocked?
It's something I'm debating. I'm debating. But Andrew, I want to ask you, when Heather McDonald, who wrote a great article in the Washington Post a couple weeks ago about the myth behind Black Lives Matter, who wrote the book War on Cops. One of the statistics that I continue to try and put out there, in the 75 most violent cities in this country, the blacks make up 15% of the population, yet commit 57% of the murders, 64% of the assaults. And that, for me, that's a way to say, there's going to be racism. There's nothing you can do about the racism in this country. You can't pass laws. You can't legislate morals. We've got to continue to try and root that stuff out. But I look at this as a much bigger problem in the black community first and foremost than I do in outside of the black community. They're killing each other at record rates.
Yeah, I don't know. My beat is politics. I don't really have any. Yeah. I don't have many thoughts on that.
All right. Dean, anything?
Yeah, the Colin Kaepernick thing for me was one of those deals where was he when he was a starting quarterback on a Super Bowl team? There were issues then.
Right.
I think Colin Kaepernick's looking for a little love from the public's what he's looking for.
And
I'm not sure he's making a big stand like he claims to be.
But when you wear a pair of socks that has cops as pigs on it, you're basically saying
he's showboating. Look at me.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, hey, listen, Andrew, it was nice talking to you.
Wait, Curt, before I go, are you going to run for Senate? You should give me the scoop right now.
I am thinking about it. And why would I give you the scoop? So you can start opposition research?
Give me the scoop. Well, maybe if you give me the scoop, I don't know.
We'll talk.
You should let me know.
All right.
Andrew at BuzzFeed.com. Let me know.
All right, man. Take care. Thanks for calling. CurtSchillingShow.com. 844-900-3838. CurtSchillingShow.com. We'll be back in a minute.
The Curt Schilling Show.
Hello, America. Amazingly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I gotta tell you, that Europe is one zany country, but don't get me wrong, we got our share of kooky, too. We're now on our quadrennial descent into madness, known as the presidential campaign. Insider or outsider, seasoned politician or successful businessman. Personally, I always vote for the ones who promise me the least. I figure they'll be the least disappointing. My friends at Matthews Brothers, they've been through 40 of these things, starting when James Buchanan beat that rascal John Fremont. They tell me bad officials are elected by good citizens who do not vote. Thank heavens, we still have companies like Matthews Brothers who take pride in honoring their commitment to quality, dependability, and service day in and day out for over 162 years, something to which our elected officials could aspire for maybe 4. You can see their wicked awesome Maine-made windows, but only at better lumber yards and window professionals throughout New England or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers with 1 T, America's oldest window manufacturer.
Welders has Maine Oxy got a deal for you. The Maine Oxy tool of the month is the Hogan swivel-based portable magnetic drill. This 115-volt drill is excellent for horizontal, overhead, tight areas, and getting out over another piece of steel. Plus 2 bonus freebies, lubricant and cutting fluid, all for just $999. Buy this Hogan drill, and you'll feel like a Hogan's hero. Ha! Maine Oxy with 15 stores throughout New England, or go to MaineOxy.com.
For industrial gas, for specialty gas, call Maine Oxy.
People wait all year long for it, and it's finally here. The Hallmark Keepsake Ornament debut starts October 1st at the Paper Store. Over 100 new Hallmark ornaments with special deals and bonus points. Add to your collection, start a new tradition, or commemorate a special occasion. As your favorite Hallmark Gold Crown store, the Paper Store is the destination for Hallmark. Don't miss this once-a-year event. The Hallmark Keepsake Ornament debut starts October 1st at the Paper Store.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Work with your doctor when taking medications. Make Protovite part of your healthy lifestyle.
HealthForLiberty.com is your source for Protovite, a powerful nutritional supplement that's a true breakthrough for your health. Poor digestion makes it nearly impossible to absorb the nutrition your body needs. Protovite is a liquid multi-nutrient formula with patent-pending absorption technology and the highest quality ingredients to nourish every cell in your body.
My name is Sandra White. 6 weeks ago, when I started taking Protovite, I was on 14 medications, from everything for blood pressure to fibromyalgia. In the first 10 days, my blood sugar dropped 50 points, and my fibromyalgia pain is gone. And so was 12 of the 14 medications that I was taking. I'm 66, living life and loving it.
Go to healthforliberty.com right now. That's healthforliberty.com.
Thank you, Protovite, for giving my life back.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. As many of you could probably guess, I love to shop. But you know what I don't love? Waiting in long lines at the dressing room and dealing with crowded parking lots at the mall. Or in my case, being bombarded by gaggles of adoring fans. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I can imagine it'd be a hassle. But luckily for me, I can get all of my shopping done at the most convenient store in the country. The Howie Carr Show online store at howiecarrshow.com makes shopping easy, convenient, and most importantly, affordable. Whether I want a Hillary for Prison t-shirt or a copy of Brothers Bulger to read poolside, I always go to howiecarrshow.com. And when I'm on pug duty, I love whipping out my Hillary doggy poop bag to help clean up after Gunnar and Pearl. There is no better and cheaper store around than the Howie Carr Show online store. So go to howiecarrshow.com and click on store. There is always a great deal waiting for you, and I can guarantee all of your friends will be super jealous when you show up to the next BBQ decked out in the latest awesome t-shirt, courtesy of the captain himself. Go to howiecarrshow.com now. That's howiecarrshow.com. Click store.
Welcome to your weekly dose of calm, soft, stale radio. Nah, just kidding. It's the Curt Schilling Show, baby.
844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. We just had Andrew Kaczynski on. Andrew is an opposition researcher. I assumed he was liberal, and he clearly...
Well, he's got to keep his cards close to his chest.
Why?
Because he's a political reporter.
Okay, so if
he's a chicken. He's a chicken. He did not dare say he was a liberal. That's all there is to it.
That to me is spineless.
BuzzFeed is a culturally left website for sure.
So just say it. Why are they afraid to? He's the Oppenheimer of archival video research is what I was reading. Here,
he's come up with some good stuff.
Well, he's also come up with some crap, and one of them was following the marathon bombings in 2013. He was a guy he played a role in accidentally spreading misinformation about the identities of the suspected bombers when he retweeted false reports made by Reddit user Greg Hughes. Now, as someone who's retweeted memes that have been false,
have you?
I think I have.
Have you? Have you spread some false stuff on
might
Twitter?
have.
Have you got reprimanded for that?
I might have. Here's a quick one. This is the headline: White House corrects location of Jerusalem on day of presidential funeral. So this is the actual White House press release, okay? It says, corrected. Please see the remarks below with a corrected header. The header was, remarks by President Obama at memorial service for former Israeli President Shimon Peres. Mount Herzl, Jerusalem, Israel. In the corrected memo, the Israel is lined out because apparently this White House doesn't recognize Jerusalem as a part of Israel. And then there's the president's comments.
That's their longstanding policy, and the I guess the implication is that one of the founding fathers of the state of Israel was not buried in Israel,
right? But no, yeah.
As far as the president's concerned,
the remarks. It was a note indicating the remarks had been given in Jerusalem, Israel. But later Friday afternoon, the press office sent out a correction to the previous email, striking out Israel from the header of the transcript. Now, aren't they smart enough just to take the word off? Why black it out?
Yeah, some proofreader just lost their job, too.
Yeah. You would like to think that,
yeah.
But considering the stupidity you see on a pretty consistent basis, the amount of times he's been golfing on occasions that probably shouldn't have been. U.S. policy has long refrained from recognizing any nation's sovereignty over Jerusalem. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital, with Israel declaring in 1980 that it was its undivided capital. So,
Hey, Curt, you're on Fox again.
Am I on Fox? Oh,
yeah, you're on Fox right now.
Wow. So you were
Curt Schilling rips Gary Johnson.
You were telling me, well, I didn't rip him. I just said I haven't seen him not high. That's not ripping him. He enjoys being high.
He does have that stoned look to him.
Not just the look, but the voice. The voice. Hey, name your favorite world leader.
I don't know.
Seriously. Putin, Merkel, anybody.
Say somebody.
So, I don't care. Stalin,
Mugabe?
Churchill. Somebody.
That guy from Mexico.
Nothing. I don't get on the Aleppo thing, number one, because I don't think a lot of people knew Aleppo before that anyway. But that one was kind of stunning. 844-900-3838. CurtSchillingShow.com. We're talking everything. Life, social, politics, sports, whatever you want to talk about. Back in a minute.
The Curt Schilling Show.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, FoodForLiberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, FoodForLiberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to foodforliberty.com. FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, FoodForLiberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, FoodForLiberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to foodforliberty.com.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
The censorship ends now. This is the Curt Schilling Show.
1-844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. Dying to hear from liberals on how on earth you can still support Hillary Clinton. Up in New Hampshire, NH1 99.1 FM. Welcome to the Curt Schilling Show.
Get on your phones in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
let's go.
Get on your phones. We're going to spend some quality time talking about Hillary Clinton and the latest hack revealing just how bad this lady is.
Well, I don't know if this was a hack. This was audio that was leaked. She was recorded at a private fundraiser.
Well, it starts with hacked audio, so I'm just assuming it's hacked. And my first question is, why are we never getting a hack that reveals her doing something good?
Well, in this one, I actually think that she tells the truth.
Right? No,
this is the first time. This is the first leaked audio I've seen of her, being honest.
But I see this as being exactly what happens if the audio of her speeches got out.
You're talking about her Wall Street speeches?
All of those,
oh, yeah.
revealing
those need to come
what
up.
a corrupt, phony fraud she is.
And also, why didn't that come up during the debate? Lester?
Right.
Donald?
Well, Lester clearly had other issues. I know Hillary perfected the nose scratch signal, which I thought was awesome.
You think, just to check in on where we are with the Hillary conspiracy theories, you think she has a body double and you think that she was signaling to Lester Holt?
I do. I don't care.
What was she signaling him for?
If you look at there's a video on YouTube that spells out when she did it, and watching, you can hear him talking, and it was every time she didn't want Lester to ask her a follow-up question. She wanted to stay on topic and go back at him.
But that's every time.
No, but I'm saying
she never wanted a follow-up question.
Again, I don't care.
I just think that was like implied.
Think there were signals?
Oh, absolutely.
That she was signaling Lester Holt?
First of all, she sucks at it. Okay, because she was doing this.
I got to go back and watch.
And it's hilarious because it was not even discreet. It's like. Okay, so basically this is saying, hey, listen, I'm cheating, but I really don't care if you notice.
See, I don't think that they needed signals. I think that it was just understood that she's not going to get follow-up questions.
And then there's the video of the handler taking her notes from her desk or her podium and handing them to Lester after the debate, which I don't care. I really don't care because I think the American people are far smarter than the media believes they are. But this is a leaked audio. Clinton gives her take on Sanders supporters and leaked fundraising. All of you millennials, please listen to this. Hacked audio of a conversation between... we're going to play it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's just a deep desire to believe that, we can have free college, free health care, that what we've done hasn't gone far enough and we just need to, go as far as, Scandinavia, whatever that means. And half the people don't know what it means, but it is something that they deeply feel.
Okay, so she doesn't understand that's Bernie Sanders, right? The Nordic system of healthcare and blah blah blah, which is proven to be an unmitigated disaster for anybody that would talk about it. But so this is hacked audio. It comes out. She's also, when we're going to play this clip, the Democratic nominee describing Bernie Sanders supporters as, quote, children of the Great Recession, unquote, who are living in their parents' basements. You got that sound, Steve?
It is important to recognize what's going on in this election. Everybody who's ever been in any election that I'm aware of is quite bewildered because there is a strain of, on the one hand, a kind of populist, nationalist, xenophobic, discriminatory kind of approach that we hear too much of from the Republican candidates. And on the other side, there's just a deep desire to believe that, we can have free college, free health care, that what we've done hasn't gone far enough and we just need to, go as far as, Scandinavia, whatever that means. And half the people don't know what it means, but it is something that they deeply feel. So as a friend of mine said the other day, I am occupying from the center left to the center right. And I don't have much company there because it is difficult when you're running to be president and you understand how hard the job is. I don't want to overpromise. I don't want to tell people things that I know we cannot do. I want to level with the American people and be very clear about the progress I think we can make. Now, it won't surprise any of you to hear me say that I think we can grow the economy.
Yeah, she goes back to, and we'll hear the audio in a minute. She goes on to talk about Sanders supporters. And, okay, I don't know what left and right she's looking at, but center left to center right, she's as far from like middle center left as any candidate ever. She's as progressive as anybody ever. But she's trying to tell the truth. It's hard for her, and it's a room full of people who are clapping, and I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell are you clapping about? Nothing she's done is backing. I don't want to give you promises I can't fulfill, I can't keep. Well, you've proven that you can fulfill any promise if there's enough money on the table to make it happen. Pay for play. She's the inventor of pay for play. So then she talks about you, the Bernie Sanders supporters, specifically.
Some are new to politics completely. They're children of the Great Recession, and they are living in their parents' basement. They feel that they got their education, and the jobs that are available to them are not at all what they envisioned for themselves.
So basically, Trump supporters are deplorable, and Sanders supporters are basement-dwelling, live-at-home leeches.
Unemployed
leeches
who want free stuff,
who got an overly expensive education for a minimum wage job.
Well, she's half right. She's right about the Bernie bros.
Right. No, but I mean, this is a woman. She's an elitist. She's proven to be an elitist time and time and time again, and people still vote for her. And I don't get that. I really don't.
Hey, come on, turn your phone off.
That wasn't somebody's calling me.
You're still
one
on
of my
Fox.
friends doesn't know.
I was looking at my phone because I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! My first week, I got an alarm.
You're all over Fox right now.
I'm glad it wasn't me.
I think Grace is going to have to revise her statement that you're a quasi celebrity.
I got an amazing amount of feedback yesterday after I did this.
You gotta not look to the side. You look a little dodgy when you look off to the side, like you're looking at your wife or something.
No, I was actually looking at Ellie, my dog. I was afraid she was going to be running.
You can't have the dogs, screwing up with your media hits.
Yeah, but I was thinking about if I do run and I am become a senator, I'm going for the White House. I would have the first dog. I would be able to have the president, and I would have like 7. So that could be an issue.
So like the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth.
Right now,
what's a presidential dog? What do you got?
I have 4. I have a bulldog named Georgia who looks like Michael Moore. I have Ellie the Maltese. I have Willow the pug and Bentley the Rottweiler.
The Rottweiler is first dog material, but I don't know about the pug.
And he actually is a grand champ. He's on his way to being a grand champion and going to Westminster next year. So he's a stud. He's awesome.
Nice.
Literally a stud because he's going to have puppies in a couple weeks. So we got callers. We're going to go out to the phone lines. Ben on line 1. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, good morning, Kurt. How are you, man?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, one of the things, first of all, great job with Ben Carson. He's always
Thank you.
A good listen to no matter
He's
where.
A good man.
So kudos on that. My topic kind of changed while I was listening to you on hold here regarding the tapes on Hillary, and at the end of the day, it all comes back to she's being a chameleon. I mean, depending on where she is and who she's talking to, everything changes, and that quite frankly, smart people have to recognize this and understand that's not who you want in the White House. Now, it may not be Donald Trump, but then to start talking about, do you want things to change drastically as far as they go with the Constitution? But in terms of Hillary Clinton, there is no way and chance in hell of her being right or being honest with the American people. She never has been. She never will be. And these tapes kind of prove it in a private setting where she's trying to appease the folks, whoever she's speaking to, that's who she's speaking about and with. And it's completely baffling how the American people buy it so much, blaming her, or you can blame the media, whoever you want to blame. But at the end of the day, people have to be smart enough to understand that this is not who we want to run the country.
Well, I appreciate the call, Ben. And a couple things. First off, I look at Hillary Clinton as getting into the White House and people looking at her kind of how I look at marriage after I got married. You think you're going to get married and everything's going to be the same and it's going to be awesome, nirvana, heaven, day in and day out. And you get married and you realize...
Be careful, Sean.
No, I know. But you realize after you get married, it's hard work. It's hard work no matter who you are. And things change. People, I think, are expecting, well, once she gets in the White House, she'll be presidential. No, she won't. She'll be exactly who she is, exactly who she's always been, which is a lying fraud. The other thing is, for you listening out there, go Google Hillary's flip-flops. There is a list of 22 of... Every one of them is significant she stands opposite of every major issue she's ever talked about.
Well, they showed, I saw online the other day, they showed Hillary, a quote from Hillary, and then a quote from Donald Trump, a quote of Hillary from years ago, and then a quote from Trump, and they matched up perfectly. It was her repeating the exact same things that he's been vilified for saying by some people. It was kind of an interesting watch.
The chameleon comment is interesting in the sense that I think that's why we hate politicians, because almost all of them are chameleons. Because I live by a saying, and I've told my kids this very same thing: don't live your life trying to impress people you don't know. And that's where I may have trouble if I do enter the political arena, is if you don't like me or you don't respect my opinion, I don't care.
That's what America's looking for. The problem right now is, like we just talked about with Hillary, she's a chameleon. America was ready for change this election. The problem is, when you lined up all those, and we talked about this, you lined up all those Republicans on the stage. I'm a registered independent that's like, wow, we're going to have somebody different finally to choose from. And I haven't wrapped my head around Donald Trump yet. And that's where the vote's going to be decided this November. People that haven't wrapped their head around
but
it.
When you hear her talk, how she could even still be a potential vote for you is beyond me. I think we talked long enough that I got to know you. You must have a psychotic side.
Oh, I'm not voting for Hillary. I'm not.
But here's
voting
the thing:
for Hillary.
that last comment we were talking about, reading about, she talks down. She is the epitome of an elitist. She talks down to people. She is relying. You ever be in a situation where you somebody's talking to you and you're like, this person thinks I'm really stupid? I feel like that's how she talks to voters everywhere, because they don't know enough to be on her level. You just need to trust me to tell you what's good and what's bad for you. And I think she is everything that's wrong with politics and people in this country. So we are going to go back to the phones. We got Ferris on line 2. Ferris, what's going on?
Good day, Kurt.
Good day.
It is National Through the Vote Day, and I just want to say quickly that a lot of guys will take off their jockstrap and sit behind a microphone. No one has ever compelled us the way you're doing this. You are the bomb, bro.
Well, thank you, bro.
So we appreciate you bringing your talent and your enthusiasm and your straightforwardness and your respect for the truth to the airwaves.
I appreciate that.
So we're deeply indebted there. Just did see your lovely First Air Cavalry hat on Fox News Channel with Cavuto, and that's a good one to keep wearing. You know, people might get the message about what true heroism is.
I have a ton of, so you're going to get to see this, Dennis. I have an enormous collection of hats and shirts and stuff, and every now and then a liberal will say, you know, what the hell are you wearing that for? You didn't serve. It has nothing to do with serving. I have a family that served, but I want American people.
No, that's right.
No, I know. I want American people to remember every single day that we're not barbecuing for a holiday, that there are still soldiers in harm's way for this country and for people they don't know. It's not a 3 or 4 vacation day a year thing. It's around the clock. But yeah, listen. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If I'm contemplating a Senate run, but and I'll say this over and over again. A lot of people say I love you because you speak your mind. Speaking my mind doesn't make me right. It makes me me. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to say things that are going to piss people off, but I feel like as a politician, it's much like the investment world. The only thing you have is your word. Once you lose that, you become a politician.
It's refreshing. I got
to getting back to your word, wasn't your word that you were going to be wearing a Patriots jersey?
You had to bring me a piece of clothing I can wear. That is one of the greatest soundbites. And so there's a great example, right? I'm a Christian. I have a very deep-rooted faith in God and all the things that go with that. And I laugh at South Park, which I know I'm not supposed to a lot of times. It makes me laugh, and it shouldn't. And so, but again, I'm going to say things that are going to be. I don't think Trump-like. I don't need to tell people, oh, you know what? These people love me. They really love me. They share the Sally Field thing. People are going to vote for you or not. And if you're going to vote for a candidate, you need to vote for somebody. Listen, you don't like Trump, you don't like Clinton. I get that. There's a very easy path to disliking both of them. But at the end of the day, you are voting on the United States Supreme Court, and the next 2 to 5 Supreme Court appointees, you're looking at a 6-3, 7-2 majority for the Supreme Court. One person who I believe will protect and defend our Constitution is Donald Trump. I think I'm comfortable in who he may appoint. The other one has outwardly said, and I'm not making this up, she's spoken about the need for change in the Second Amendment. She's very clearly on board with the Obama administration is, we could probably tweak the First Amendment.
So your guy, though, Donald, he has to get, I'm the person he needs to reach.
Absolutely.
He needs to do a better job of talking about that kind of stuff.
Right.
And stop the mudslinging and stop I don't care that he tweets at 3 a.m., but tell me something I'm looking to hear at 3 a.m. I don't...
Stop getting dragged down the mud.
He gets dragged down the mud, and it's you get sick of it as someone that's really confused about where they want to go with the vote, because...
We're going to take a break, 844-900-3838. Scott Brown just called and left a voicemail on my phone. So, CurtSchillingShow.com, back in a minute.
Hey, it's the Curt Schilling Show.
At Granite State Indoor Range and Gun Shop, our range is not a gym in the typical sense, but we do encourage a certain type of exercise, and that exercise is called freedom. So majestic. For the month of July, and because it's America's birthday, we have a couple of sweet deals that'll help get a little extra freedom pumping through your veins. All month long, if you purchase a new firearm or take any one of our magnificent training classes, you get a free 60-day range pass. That means no lane fees for 2 months. On top of that, if you bring a new shooter to the range, we'll waive their lane fees just for trying us out. And remember, all new firearms purchases come with a lifetime warranty, try before you buy program, and a 30-day no regrets policy. So come check out New England's friendliest range, firearm store, and training center. We're open and shooting 7 days a week, or you can visit our website anytime at granitestaterange.com to sign up for classes and get more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook for the latest deals, and of course...
all of these cat pictures! God bless America for these cat pictures!
Granite State Indoor Range and Gun Shop, purveyors of freedom.
Hey, it's the car guys, Joe and Bill. I'm Bill Papageorge, your pre-owned auto buying consultant. When you're in the market for a new pre-owned vehicle, call me at 330-CAR-GUYS. My associate Joe and I can make car buying easy. We will meet with you in person at your home, office, or anywhere. Together we will find what you're looking for, year, make, color, model, options. Then we locate that exact vehicle for you through our vast inventory network. But first, this car must pass our rigid 120-point safety and performance guidelines before we deliver it to you. Car Guy approved. Fully serviced and just like new. We started our business knowing that you hate going to a dealership for all the obvious reasons. Limited inventory, high-pressure salesmen, added costs from building and staff overhead. We remove all this from the equation. The Car Guys save you time and money. We even provide financing for all. Take trade-ins for top dollar and can even take the hassle out of selling your present car.
Give us a call at 1-800-300-4600. That's 1-800-300-4600.
If someone you care about is struggling with addiction in any form, from alcohol and chemical dependency to gambling, gaming, or sex, there is hope and compassionate help available. Right Turn, located in Watertown, Massachusetts, offers extended care for addiction in a caring environment where each individual and family is treated with dignity and respect. Right Turn's experienced team includes intervention professionals, psychiatrists, physicians, social workers, and other top addiction specialists. Their approach is a unique combination of evidence-based treatment and creativity, using art, music, and writing to help individuals define themselves and become part of a community of creative people who support each other in recovery. Learn more about the wide range of services Right Turn can offer. From family interventions to extended housing, the journey to recovery can begin today. Visit right-turn.org.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
president for all Americans, not some Americans. Democrats, Republicans.
Strike it out, liberals, without breaking a sweat. It's Curt Schilling. He's got a radio show? Oh, dear Lord.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Some comeback music. 844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. Former Senator Scott Brown may be calling in the next hour to be a guest, which would be awesome. 11:30, we have Ajit Pai, the FCC commissioner, who is going to explain to you what happened at midnight last night and why it is a much bigger deal than it's being made. But
that's a must listen.
It is.
Talking to you this morning,
it really is,
and that's been lost in the wash here with all the political
stuff. And it should be a massive global story.
I hadn't even heard it.
Yep. Well, there's a reason. There's a reason you didn't hear it, and you're going to understand why. But closing final weekend, 2 games left in the baseball schedule. Although there is a massive potential roadblock. Cleveland, Detroit got rained out on Thursday. I think so. You've got Texas, Boston, and Cleveland are in the playoffs. In the American League wild card, you got Baltimore in the first spot, up 1 on Toronto, and then you have Detroit back a half game and Seattle back a game. I think no matter what, Detroit and Cleveland are going to have to play that game on Monday, which has an enormous impact on the Boston series. Although I think Cleveland throws nobody because I don't think it matters unless Cleveland is playing for the home field, which could make that very interesting.
As much as I don't like the wild card, that does make it kind of exciting the last week. That's what it does. It draws more teams into the mix, and that's where it gets interesting.
Well, listen, I think Bud Selig was right. He created a scenario where you have, instead of 4 to 6 cities, you have 18 cities interested in the last month of the season as potentials. A lot more spoilers available. Yeah. But the problem is that this play-in, they've left themselves no room for error. So weather-wise,
outside today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if Detroit gets canceled again today, now you're looking at the Tigers potentially playing a doubleheader, right, and then another game on Monday to try and qualify for the postseason.
Well, if the Red Sox get rained out today.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing.
Yep.
But I got a question for you. Extra wild card team, interleague play. Which would you get rid of? You started
interleague play.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Absolutely,
I'm with you.
I
hate it.
Here's one of the reasons why I'm praying the Red Sox get in the World Series. In addition to wanting to see them win, I think if the Red Sox get in the World Series, that we will see next year the change to the DH. I think the interleague play will remove the pitcher hitting and use the DH at all times.
I hope so.
Well, because it's an unfair advantage.
Absolutely.
The American League rosters are built to have a DH.
Absolutely.
And so what you do is you weaken the American League team and you strengthen the National League team.
They can plug someone in, a good hitter in. The American League, you're...
Right. But they're not going to plug in a David Ortiz, but their offense is going to get better.
Better than it was.
Yes. And I think that is a competitive disadvantage. But in looking at the rotations, when you look at potential play-in games for the wild cards, you got... a Lugo starting for the Mets if they play, and which I think they will. They're going.
Nobody left.
Well, they go Cologne Syndergaard today, tomorrow.
Right.
So
that's what I mean.
And a lot of the other teams are sitting in the same spot. CurtSchillingShow.com, 844-900-3838. Hello, NH1 in New Hampshire, 99.1 FM. I'm Curt Schilling.
The Curt Schilling Show.
Do you know what's in your body soap? Well, I didn't know the answer until about 5 years ago when I looked at the label of my soap and was shocked to see all the chemicals. For my entire life, I had been assaulting the largest organ of my body, my skin, and to think my children were using it too. Well, a lot has changed since then. Today, my family and I operate Stone City Farms, where we make and sell all-natural goat milk soap using fresh goat milk from goats we raise on our farm. Our mission at Stone City Farm is to produce high-quality, all-natural goat milk soap for people who want a fresh, unrefined, natural product. At Stone City Farms, we offer scented and unscented soaps and a signature line of gift sets customizable to your needs. To see what our customers are saying, go to StoneCityFarm.com. Use the code NATURAL for a 20% discount. That's StoneCityFarm.com, code NATURAL for 20% off your order. You never know what could be hiding in your soap.
FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, FoodForLiberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, FoodForLiberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to FoodForLiberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to FoodForLiberty.com.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contests and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
FoodForLiberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, FoodForLiberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, FoodForLiberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to FoodForLiberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to FoodForLiberty.com.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If your home has hard water and it's leaving white spots, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes. Limescale can cost hundreds of dollars a year in wasted energy and early appliance breakdown. HydroCare systems available at Wave Home Solutions prevent and remove limescale with just a simple filter change every 3 years. There are no salts, chemicals, or magnetic coils. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, just go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. As many of you could probably guess, I love to shop. But you know what I don't love? Waiting in long lines at the dressing room and dealing with crowded parking lots at the mall. Or in my case, being bombarded by gaggles of adoring fans. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I can imagine it'd be a hassle. But luckily for me, I can get all of my shopping done at the most convenient store in the country. The Howie Carr Show online store at howiecarrshow.com makes shopping easy, convenient, and most importantly, affordable. Whether I want a Hillary for Prison t-shirt or a copy of Brothers Bulger to read poolside, I always go to howiecarrshow.com. And when I'm on pug duty, I love whipping out my Hillary doggy poop bag to help clean up after Gunnar and Pearl. There is no better and cheaper store around than the Howie Carr Show online store. So go to howiecarrshow.com and click on store. There is always a great deal waiting for you, and I can guarantee all of your friends will be super jealous when you show up to the next BBQ decked out in the latest awesome t-shirt, courtesy of the captain himself. Go to howiecarrshow.com now. That's howiecarrshow.com. Click store.
Live from the People's Republic of Massachusetts.
Our president basically said that we are lazy when it comes to world affairs.
It's the Curt Schilling Show.
Don't want to be an American idiot. Lena Dunham, in my book, she's a mulligan. Don't want a nation under the new media. If Bill Clinton would have done his job, there would have been no Bin Laden. It get you with the sound of hysteria. It's scary stuff how hard the media is attempting to skew the narrative. The subliminal mind, America. The next president that goes into the White House got to fix 8 years of absolute buffoonery and embarrassing representation of the United States of America around the world.
Troublemaker extraordinaire, Curt Schilling.
844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. Former Senator Scott Brown will be joining us in a minute. But before he does, let's talk Pats.
Let's talk Pats.
So I'm not a gambler. I'm not like a habitual gambler kind of guy.
I am.
All right, that's good. But I am like paying very, very close attention to football, and I'm a Steeler fan, and starting to look at the lines and the over-unders, and put a couple bucks here and there. New England giving 6 to Buffalo. Over-unders 40.
Take the Pats.
You're taking the Pats?
In the under.
All right, because Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett are both on the injury report.
Limited.
They're both questionable, which means to me Garoppolo's going to play.
I agree.
And if the way he's thrown, because the shoulder thing is clearly not as serious as they thought it was.
If I had to put money on that game now, my wife's listening to the show also. I no longer gamble on football. I'd like to make that clear. I'm a poker player now.
Not what you said during the break, but okay.
See, he's just trying to get me in trouble.
You were
now.
talking about all the money you had on different football games.
I'm in a suicide pool. Honey. They're kidding. I'm in a suicide pool, so I pick a game every week. But I lost a lot of money on some Super Bowls past. I mean, I literally had to go to the bank and get 90-day banknotes to pay a bookie, so I didn't get my
So you were
in trouble.
It looked like your kneecaps. It looked like your kneecaps were still intact.
My kneecaps are a little shaky still.
Washington would be my suicide pool pick this week.
I took Houston this week, coming off their embarrassing loss to the Patriots.
Wow. Okay, they're giving 5 to Tennessee.
There's no line involved in the suicide pool.
No, I know. I'm just looking at the lines for a suicide pool because Cincinnati was -7.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I'm not so. I'm not looking down on the whole conspiracy theory NFL thing now that I've started to look at the line. Like, how games end up a point below the over/under and a half point under.
How good are they in Vegas?
Yeah,
It makes you think, doesn't it?
You wonder. So we're gonna bring in a special guest, former Senator Scott Brown, who I have known for quite a while, who I ardently supported and would always support, is joining us on the phones. Senator Brown, how are you, Scott?
Go Patriots!
See, now I'm a Steeler fan, so but the Patriots are my second favorite team.
Yeah. Well, they're all great guys, and anyone who can get out there and get the crap kicked out of them for that long of a time and that many years, that they deserve all the money and accolades that they can get. So, God bless them.
I'm honestly hoping that their next CBA involves guaranteed contracts, because if there's one sport that should have it, it absolutely needs to be that sport.
The sheer size of them is amazing. When you sit down near the field and watch those guys walk by, the sheer size is amazing to me, that their ligaments and their joints hold up the way they do. It's unbelievable to me.
That's the same thing with baseball. You cannot understand the speed of the sport until you're at the field level.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So what do you? I'm going to ask you, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm actually on a roof about 3 stories up. Finished painting my daughter's house. She's at Cornell Vet School, and they wanted like $12,000 for it. So I said, yeah, that's not happening. So for the last, I come up every other weekend, and I get about another 2 hours to do that. But and then I head over to Cornell to be on Fox. I'll be on Uma Pamaraju's show, and so I'm on Fox every day. I'm covering all the debates. I'll go to the VP1. I'll go to St. Louis and Vegas. On a bunch of boards, and hoping you run for the U.S. Senate. Frankly.
I appreciate that. I'm actually looking for the footage of Hillary on the roof somewhere helping paint Chelsea's $10 million apartment in New York. Talk to me about the debate. What'd you think?
Listen, I was there, obviously, and I gave Trump a B-. I gave Hillary a B+. All singles and doubles by both of them. No real mistakes, no home runs. Trump started out strong. He had easy comebacks, and he blew it. Quite honestly. I don't know. And I think you notice the breathing through the nose. I think he was nervous. And let me just explain why. People say, he's a TV guy. Well, Curt, you know it because you were intimately involved in my race. The amount of pressure for somebody who's never done this before, who has never gone up against a seasoned professional. I mean, she's had some of the biggest debates in the world, quite frankly, against Barack and others. And she knows all the tricks. She knows how to push his button. She knows all the political bougie, and he doesn't. He tried to answer every question, which is noble, but unfortunately, then you're always on the defensive and you kind of get sidetracked. He was actually trying to answer the question, which, quite frankly, he could have just said, for example, when she said, you got to release your tax returns because, you never know about the influence at the White House that may come down the pike, I would have said, whoa, excuse me? Madam Secretary, are you talking about influence?
Right.
How about the intersection of money and politics that has been plaguing you and your husband for decades, and the fact that when you were Secretary of State and the Clinton Foundation was getting hundreds of millions of dollars, you had appointments for almost everybody who gave money. So let's cut the crap.
Well,
those are the things that he'll learn. And so that being said, she didn't blow him out.
She can't.
And I know for a fact that there are people on their side who are like, oh, goodness gracious, because he's a good learner, and he's not going to come back and make those mistakes again.
Well, no, and I said before this all started, she has nothing to attack with other than the character stuff because she can't stand on a record of achievement. And he basically called her out, right? And he said, listen, you've been in politics 26 years, and now you're going to fix stuff? Why haven't you done it before?
Yeah. No, he nailed that. He nailed the economy. He nailed the debt and deficit, the jobs. But he got sidetracked when he fell for, you called this person that and that person this. Yeah, listen, he's been on Howard Stern. He's said stupid things, and he's made mistakes when he says those things. And here's the difference to you and your listeners. His mistakes haven't cost people their lives.
Right.
Ethan, guys, they haven't cost countries their sovereignty and families and citizens their lives in Libya, and also hasn't caused our country its national security potential problems with the servers. I mean, we could go on and on and on. So when you're talking about mistakes and saying things, listen, I'll take Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton any day.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Scott, Dean Prentice here. Wouldn't when Donald Trump's debating like that, to people that haven't made up their mind Wouldn't he be better served just to admit his mistakes? I mean, a lot of this could be blown right over. His mistakes are from years ago. People like me don't really care about something that happened in 1973, for instance. Wouldn't he be better served just to say on national, in a debate like that, you know what, Hillary, you're right, I made a mistake, but here's how minor my mistake was compared to you doing. Don't you think that'd be a good move by him?
Absolutely, and I've conveyed that. Others have conveyed that. One thing I've learned about Donald Trump, and the reason I'm supporting him and was one of the first to do so, is he's a fighter. You know, he doesn't take crap from anybody. And when you're attacking his character or misrepresenting things he stands for or does, or attacking his friends and the like, you know, he's going to stand up. And I kind of want somebody who's going to be a fighter and not going to be a pushover, not only when dealing with our foes, but obviously dealing with our allies as well. I want him to be able to go down to Congress and look, you know, Harry Reid, well, he won't be there, thank God, but Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer and also, you know, Paul Ryan, and look them in the eye and say, listen, we're going to get this done, and not take crap from them and do the same old thing they've been doing for 10, 20, 30 years. So, yes, he could have said and should have said, listen, you know, I made a mistake. You know, it was insensitive. I apologize. But let me tell you about the things that you've done. You're absolutely right. Spot on.
Yeah, I mean, that was the comeback at the end, which was, hey, listen, yeah, I said those things. You know what? In hindsight, probably shouldn't have said them. I think we've all done that. But at the end of the day, I didn't get 4 people in Benghazi killed for the things I said or didn't do.
I don't even think you need to bring that part up. I mean, he doesn't even have to bring that part up.
Well, anytime you can dig, I dig.
No, I got you, but he doesn't even have to sling anything. He just needs to kind of confess his sins and move on. I think a lot of people, myself included, might move on.
Yeah. Listen, of course, and this is a very important election. I think we're at a precipice, and we're going down a bad path. And if you want 4 to 8 more years of higher taxes, more and more incredible regulations, this election is very simply about our debt, deficit, taxes, spending, jobs, national security, energy, terrorism, border security. Those are the only things we should be talking about. And the fact that you know, Hillary Clinton is basically in favor of sanctuary cities. She's not for a secure border. She is for increasing taxes and wants more regulation and wants free tuition. The one thing when she was saying, oh, well, we need this, we need that, we need this, and the rich should pay their fair share. Listen, if the rich paid every single penny of everything that they've ever earned in their entire lifetime, they couldn't address our incredible $20 trillion deficit. And I would have said, those are all great and noble ideas, Madam Secretary, but with all due respect, how are you going to pay for it?
Right.
We're in a financial crisis right now,
well,
and he didn't.
We'll
see. That
leads back to kind of a closer to home thing. You know, Elizabeth Warren has been very outspoken about free college, both in the state of Mass and across the country, which is absolutely ludicrous because it basically countrywide adds over $5 trillion in debt every 4 years, and then again we're already $20 trillion in debt. But I am contemplating a potential run for Senate against her, and I guess I'm going to see, you know, any advice you got for me?
Yeah, you call me. Call me, Curt. Yeah, listen. Of course, she wants free education. This is somebody who taught one class at Harvard. Her and her husband have made almost $400,000 each, and then they complain about the high cost of education when it goes to her and people like her who basically are milking the system. They get, you know, low interest loans and no interest loans. They get free housing. You know, they teach one class. They get tenure. You know, listen. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to spend other people's money, but when you actually have to go out and hustle and actually, like you did, Curt. Listen. God bless you, man. And people say, well, Curt made a bad business decision. You know what? The fact that you had the balls to actually make a business decision and take all your money and invest it in something that you strongly believed in, and the fact that it didn't work out, well, you know what? That's the difference between capitalism and entrepreneurs and people who have dreams, because you not only signed on the dotted line, you probably cross-collateralized, you personally guaranteed, you know, you put your name and reputation out there, and it didn't work out. Well, you know what? It's better than teaching one class at Harvard and making almost $400,000 and bitching and moaning about stuff and never have signed the front of a paycheck. So, you know, people are going to say, thank you, Curt, for taking a shot. And they're also going to thank you for taking a shot here, because she's definitely beatable. Well, her unfaves are, you know, upside down.
And that goes actually, that comment about what she took from Harvard for teaching. Colin Powell mentioned the fact that Hillary Rodham Clinton's speech at a college he was going to be working, potentially employed at, working for, that speech, the cost of that speech ended up being the reason they didn't pay him and hire him.
Well, of course. Well, he's not only a Republican, but yeah, the intersection of money and politics. And listen, I don't begrudge anyone giving speeches. I give them all the time, and I get paid for them. But to make like her husband did, $1 million or $500,000, and then you follow the food chain, the money chain thereafter, and you see, oh my God, well this country got that, or they got this meeting. There's clearly a pay-for-play situation going on. And that intersection of money and politics is off the charts. But when you're looking at someone like Warren, she's been down there almost 4 years. All right, she has not passed one bill and not one amendment. She basically holds hearings, yells at people, puts it on YouTube, raises money. Right. And with respect, people in Massachusetts, especially the millennials and the Bernie Sanders supporters, they're not too happy because when Bernie needed her help and he lost Massachusetts by 1, that was the pivotal time in his election. She stayed silent. And then ultimately she endorsed Hillary Clinton, who ultimately, Warren was criticizing her entire career as being the queen of Wall Street and being a sellout to Wall Street, and then ultimately endorses her. She lost all that respect for all those people who believed in her. And not only did Bernie, they upset at Bernie, they're upset at Warren because, they sold out. Well, they didn't stick to their values.
I look at her as someone who will put her ass on the line when there's nothing at stake, which is exactly what she did to the Wells Fargo executives that she chewed their ass out the other day and ended up doing. She gets a lot of accolades for this committee that she founded, this financial oversight committee that has absolutely no authority to do anything. It's just more bureaucracy and grandstanding, which is exactly what they did. Scott, thank you so much for calling in. I will be in touch.
Let's touch base, buddy. We got to get together.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
You take care of yourself.
All right, man. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This is Curt Schilling, 844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. We'll be back in a minute.
This is the Curt Schilling Show.
Hey, I'll make you a deal. Give me 60 seconds, and I'll give you directions to the Fountain of Youth. Okay, I'm joking. Well, kind of joking. No fountains, but youth, I got. Nature's Youth and their premier anti-aging product, Nature's Youth RSF. With your sensible diet and exercise plan, Nature's Youth RSF can help you look and feel better. RSF is an all-natural amino acid supplement that supports your body to naturally increase HGH levels without any synthetic hormones. And elevated HGH levels can contribute to increased energy, improved libido, reduced body fat, and improved exercise capacity. Let's be honest, who doesn't want to look and feel younger? Visit the newly designed website at naturesyouth.com or call 800-333-6923. That's 800-333-6923, and like them on Facebook and you'll be included in contest and exclusive offers. What a deal. Oh, speaking of deals, my time's about up. 800-333-6923 or naturesyouth.com. Who needs a fountain anyway? Call today.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
People love to shop. What if you could shop and it was actually good for you? What if you could actually purchase items that bettered your life? What goes into your body is important to what quality of life you have. How about shopping for items that better your health? GetTheTea.com is that shopping place. We're not only tea, even though that's our #1 seller, we are about helping your health. There's Colostrum LD for those of you with autoimmune troubles. The product helps your stomach get on track. GI problems produce pain. Get relief with Colostrum from LD? How about some fat burners? Or maybe some joint aid? Or a power cleanse? There's so much to tell you with very little time. So get help health-wise at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Or you can call our friendly operators at 928-308-0408. That's 928-308-0408. Get help and relief by going shopping. Shop at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Serving people with great products for over 8 years. GetTheT.com.
He's locked, loaded, and ready for combat. It's Curt Schilling.
844-900-3830. I actually need the card in front of me. CurtSchillingShow.com. NH1 99.1 FM in New Hampshire. We are on our first affiliate in New Hampshire. I'm on Periscope every now and then, and I'll let them...
Every now and then?
Well, I'll let them tune in for a few minutes.
When was the last day that you didn't do Periscope?
Oh, yesterday. I didn't do Periscope yesterday. Oh, no, I did my show. No, I wasn't. Anyway, stop and frisk. Is there any doubt in anyone's mind the crime rates and how they changed?
Yeah, but I mean, you understand why people have a problem with it, though.
I understand.
It's like black kids in the cities getting patted down like 90 times in a year.
That's a problem.
I absolutely get that, but crime was far down drastically when they were doing it, and it's up after they stopped.
Yeah, I mean those two things can be true. It's just
I agree.
I think there are some liberals who acknowledge that it makes a city safer, but they're not they'd rather have more crime and less racial discrimination.
So they'd rather have more crime than less offense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Don't you think that that's the judgment they're making? I mean, there are some people who don't think that there's a connection between stop and frisk and lower crime rates.
But it's profiling, and at the end of the day, that's police officers. You kind of pay them to profile and find criminals. I get the racial overtones to it.
That's the part that's going to be the struggle.
Right, but again,
the racial
would you
overtone.
rather that the crime rate in your neighborhood be high or that people be offended?
Well, in my neighborhood, the ratio's going to work. I mean, they're going to be stopping white people.
Right.
But it's it's not just about people being offended. It's about that black teenager who gets patted down, once a week by a cop for stop and frisk. And then what does he think about police officers?
No, I see that. Yes, I 100% agree with that. There's got to be a way to get that policy in play oversight, and this gets back to the issue of these corrupt officers. Even though I believe it's a very small percentage, they have to start policing themselves better, because the one guy that does this, the two or three guys that do this, are basically setting this country on its ear, and they are the reason people don't
By the way,
trust.
Speaking of cop issues, did you notice how quickly that whole Charlotte story went away once they released the dash cam, the dash cam and the body cams?
But that's been the earmark of the Obama administration, has been the jump to the wrong conclusion. Indict police officers and government first responders, and then go silent when you're 100% wrong.
Isn't the stop and frisk, though, as far as the Fourth Amendment, isn't there an issue there? Prohibits unreasonable search and...
Well, they're called Terry stops. There was a Supreme Court decision, I think it was Terry v. Ohio, that said that it wasn't unconstitutional. It's the difference between a brief pat down over the exterior of your clothing and like searching in your pockets or getting into your car or something like that. So it has been, the issue has been resolved at the Supreme Court level, and in the New York Superior Court. I mean, this came up during the debate. Lester Holt tried to fact check Donald Trump, and he was wrong.
Right.
The judge got taken off the case. She said that it was unconstitutional as applied. But the theory that I can just like pat you down on the exterior of your clothing to see if you have a firearm, that is constitutional. And that's what we're talking about. It's stop and frisk. And then, you're not being detained.
I wouldn't personally mind being stop and frisked.
That's because you're not a criminal.
Right. But I understand some people, even that aren't criminals, thinking that's an invasion of their privacy. I do understand
Sure.
that.
I mean, when we have stop and frisk at our airports,
it gets right back to the Snowden stuff with national security. How far are you willing to let your government go to protect you? Because if you want the NSA shut down, if you want the CIA shut down because you feel that they're infiltrating your personal life too much, then who's going to be the wall against,
just
rampant crime and terrorism? And I think, that's a measure. I'm on the side of, I don't really, the skeletons I had were like college,
right?
Which I think everybody has those skeletons.
Yeah, I got a few.
As I think ahead now, if I potentially am running for a political office, I can see where they could use that to destroy, and I'm sure they have. To destroy people.
I don't think they need to go back to college, Curt.
No, they can go back to my Twitter account 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, that's what I was going to say.
Yesterday.
But I can't wait for that. That's going to be the fun part when I get the people who want to talk about the Muslim tweet, and now you have to explain to them the word extremist matters.
Do you consider yourself a thick-skinned individual?
Oh God, yes. I am as thick as they come.
Unless you bring up the Steelers.
You actually don't care. Well, I brought up the Steelers earlier, and he didn't react like I thought it was. I said 34-3, really?
Because he's internalizing it.
Listen, I don't look back. I'm not going that way.
That screwed up a big weekend of the NFL. I was so looking forward to Steelers Patriots undefeated. That's in a few weeks, right? I mean, I was chomping at the bit for that, and they screwed it up.
Tom Brady's first loss.
Here we go.
But I have. Listen, there are 3 places that I will tell you are unlike any place in the world. They are the most politically incorrect places on the planet. A police and fire locker room, in a theater of war, sitting around, and in the sports locker room. The things that are done and said in those places,
not just professionally either. I'm talking about
absolutely.
Yeah.
Having been in sports and then gone over to the Middle East and had a chance to sit for 10 days and talk to troops was one of the most eye-opening, unbelievably awesome experiences of my life. 844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. On the other side, Ajit Pai, FCC Commissioner, on what happened last night at midnight. You don't want to miss it.
This is the Curt Schilling Show.
Foodforliberty.com sells high-quality, storable foods from Numana. And right now, take advantage of our summer special. Purchase 2 family packs and we'll send you a Pro Pure Water Pitcher, a $70 value, free. This premium pitcher is ideal for use with just about any water source and removes more contaminants than other brands. And it comes with a filter that lasts up to 2 full years. Whether you need to be prepared in the event of an emergency, you're an outdoor sports enthusiast, Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. And with a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Go to foodforliberty.com right now for great-tasting, high-quality, storable foods from Numana. Buy 2 family packs and get the Pro Pure Water Pitcher free. It makes good sense to be prepared. Get it at foodforliberty.com. Foodforliberty.com sells high-quality, storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, Foodforliberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, Foodforliberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to foodforliberty.com. Foodforliberty.com sells high-quality, storable foods from Numana. And right now, take advantage of our summer special. Purchase 2 family packs and we'll send you a Pro Pure Water Pitcher, a $70 value, free. This premium pitcher is ideal for use with just about any water source and removes more contaminants than other brands. And it comes with a filter that lasts up to 2 full years. Whether you need to be prepared in the event of an emergency, you're an outdoor sports enthusiast, Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. And with a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Go to foodforliberty.com right now for great-tasting, high-quality, storable foods from Numana. Buy 2 family packs and get the Pro Pure Water Pitcher free. It makes good sense to be prepared. Get it at foodforliberty.com. Foodforliberty.com sells high-quality storable foods from Numana. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, Foodforliberty.com has your prepackaged single-serve packs or kits for the entire family. Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. With a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Right now, Foodforliberty.com is offering a special gift, a heavy-duty Survivor dry storage box designed for extreme bug-out conditions. This storage box is built to last, includes compass, signaling mirror, and is yours free with a $50 order. Go to Foodforliberty.com right now and pick up your quality storable foods from Numana. To get the Survivor dry storage box, use promo code LIBERTY. It makes good sense to be prepared. Go to Foodforliberty.com.
Mowing down the mainstream media every Saturday morning. This is the Curt Schilling Show with your host, Curt Schilling.
And starring Curt Schilling with special guest Curt Schilling.
844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. This is a taped interview I did with Ajit Pai, the FCC commissioner, from earlier this week. And I need you to listen, all of you millennials, all of you internet junkies, listen to the message. And this happened at midnight last night.
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
Where are you?
Yeah. I'm here in D.C., actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I've got a lot of Red Sox friends and family, so they.
Oh, good.
On behalf of all of them, thank you for 2004.
Thank you.
I hate the Yankees more than anything else, and I'm a Royals fan myself, so I still remember the late 70s when they would beat our brains out.
Yeah, the late 70, early 80 Royals were a nightmare. They were.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, what'd you think of the debate?
It was rough and tumble, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously not a fan of Hillary, so
Right.
just the way she seems so pre-programmed and smug, I found very off-putting. So,
Well, I couldn't get over the fact that she just basically did what she's always done, which there's things she said that she knew to be factually untrue, but she presented them as like legitimate bullet points. And then just moved on to the next thing. I think he missed a lot of chances but at the same time, I think the debate as we know it is outdated. I think I mean, because you don't run the country in 90-minute oral arguments, and I get that it's all about being quick on your feet and having depth and knowing the issues, but you don't have to make the decision to buy a $500 million company in 38 seconds. You sit down with smart people, and this whole ISIS thing is to me is just a great example. I've known him for about 10 years, and the one thing I know is he's a consensus builder. He likes to sit down with smart people. He's a great listener, but it just feels like he tried to present himself as something so different. I mean, I know. Stop telling me how many people like you. I get it. All right. I mean,
unfortunately, he did take the bait a little too often, and I mean, especially with her, there is so much fruit waiting to be picked.
Well, she can't fight. She can't stand on anything to argue. She has no offensive.
Yeah.
It has to be personal attacks because she can't stand on achievement of anything. So it's like,
exactly. Yeah.
No, I thought
he got to that at the end when he said, "Yeah, she's got experience, but it's all bad experience," which is right. I mean,
and that's a huge point. Like she's been okay. So after 26 years, now you have a plan to fix everything. I thought that was incredibly pertinent. But then she goes back to the whole, you make fun of women and you call women names and blah blah blah. So.
And that's what's so frustrating, because I mean, for him, like, he should just be talking about her every single minute. It's like, this is what she's done and how she's lied and how she hasn't done anything, and just don't even respond to the bait that she's trying to set out there for him. And,
when he talks about when she talks about calling people names, he should just say, well, I didn't get anybody killed. The 4 families in Benghazi that you lied about and lied to. And if he wants to be, I think if he wants to be more, he would just say, I've said some things in the past that, I probably, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have said, but I've never gotten anybody killed. And I never, it's just things like that, because those aren't, he's jabbing her, but he's jabbing her with facts, which, as soon as you enter facts into the conversation, liberals crawl into their safe space. So,
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, he actually brought up, I thought, effectively, the fact that she had called young black males super predators in the 90s, and she just said, "Oh no, that's not true." But that is, if you look at the tape, that's exactly what happened. And I would just hammer on stuff like that. I mean, on TPP, same thing. He brought up, look, you supported it. You called it the gold standard, and it's just, I don't know. There's got to be some way to break through. But.
Well, the hard part now is that the media is so complicit. Like Lester Holt, I didn't watch it lifetime, but when I hear what he did and how the exchanges, it was like, this is so polarizing. It's going to be impossible to get somebody impartial unless and not even the Pope is impartial. But so I've been on the internet since 1980, since Prodigy and the days of bulletin boards and stuff. Yeah. And I think a lot of this stuff is really going under the radar, and I think it's to me anyway, it's massive. So I mean. How, and I'm, we're just going to walk into the interview. I'm just going to start asking the questions, and I'll do the intro. But how is this administration? Can you explain to people what they're doing to try and change the internet?
Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately over the last couple of years, we've seen the administration get more involved, or have the government get more involved in regulating how the internet works. And to me, as somebody who's watched it over the last 20 years, one of the great things about the internet is that it's been developed entirely without government micromanagement. And I think the net neutrality decision in 2015, unfortunately, it sort of puts the government in the gatekeeper role. And that's not something I think in any area of the economy that we want to see. I'd rather have the private sector, consumers and entrepreneurs and technologists driving how the internet develops, not regulators in Washington sitting in judgment of how it works.
Right. Well, when you think about the the internet kind of as we know it, 35 years, capitalism has built it. I mean, all of the things you just mentioned, the consumers have driven change. The providers and what it's done to Silicon Valley. All of those things are, to me, the shining beacons of capitalism. It grew that way, and now all of a sudden, the government wants to step in.
That's exactly right. And if you look at over the last couple of decades, I mean, think about the hundreds of billions of dollars of investment that have been poured into building an internet infrastructure that's the envy of the world. Think about all the innovation that happens in this country because of that. There's a reason why Amazon and Netflix and Facebook and Google are all based here in the United States. It's because we have this unique platform. Other countries would love to have it, but they've been far more regulatory, and they simply don't have the ability to persuade entrepreneurs to set up shop there. And that's not something I think we should ever put at risk as a government official, at least. That's my perspective.
Right. Well, plus we have Al Gore, who invented all of it, which is a good thing. So I guess here's the fundamental question I think I would like you to explain both to me and to people listening. What's the why? Why is the administration trying to make these changes now?
I think part of the reason is that there are a number of activists who really want the government to step in and to guarantee certain outcomes. And they see it as a way of achieving their political goals. And if you look at some of the special interests here in Washington, for example, that have raised a lot of money on this issue, they seem to see it as just sort of raw politics. I don't think they really care necessarily about what the economic effect would be. They're just more interested in making sure that the government has a say on this issue. And they simply distrust the market to make these decisions.
Right. And that goes to this place, which is, you hear these very general terms. We know any of us every one of us that's involved in the internet and on the web and stuff understands the Russia and China model, which is very, very closed off, closed-minded, very government controlled. Who exactly is this international group? Is this kind of like Brexit, where the people of UK are abiding by the laws of a group of people in Belgium they don't know? Who is this group that they're trying to pass this on to?
That's the question. So there is one group, the International Telecommunications Union, or ITU, which is a subset of the United Nations, and there are certain member states who really want more of a say on how the internet is governed, and they would certainly love for this to be a more government-driven process. And I think that would be really dangerous to the internet here and around the world if you have, say, the Irans or the Chinas deciding, okay, these websites or these people will be allowed to express themselves online and these other people won't. That's contrary to the entire way the internet was structured. So that's why I've consistently said, look, we need to make sure that however the internet is governed, it allows everybody to have free speech and free expression rights, because otherwise, we're just going to turn the clock back decades on where we are.
Well, I look at the government and I look at the way that it's grown. You have to accept the trolls with the rest. Which is very much, I think, like the United States. To have the things we have, to have the freedoms we have, to run by our Constitution, you're going to have to accept the scum, the KKK, all the things that go with those freedoms come some negatives. But I don't think people understand fully China and the leadership in China could be exerting influence on our ability to use the internet.
That's one of the things I've been really disturbed about, is how many foreign governments have leaned on American companies like Facebook, like Twitter, to censor certain kinds of content as a condition of doing business. And we see this all the time now. Turkey, for example, has even shut down Twitter altogether in some cases. And if that becomes common practice, then really, there's no. We have the First Amendment here in this country, and we take it for granted sometimes. But around the world, there quite often isn't any right, and so the internet is really the lifeline, I think, for a lot of people who want to express themselves. And once it's gone, it's going to be really hard to get it back.
And that leads to my next question, and that's a great point. I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy. I'm not an Armageddon guy. Things are going the way they are. But as soon as you start to say things like, if Hillary wins, our Constitution could be changed forever in very detrimental ways, I look at this. Would this be the end of a free and open internet?
Well, I remain hopeful that given how important the internet is in everyone's lives, and given how fervently most Americans, I think, of goodwill, believe in the values of the First Amendment, I would have to hope that there would be a massive public outcry if anyone in the government, from the White House to any agency, said, we're going to tinker with this in order to ensure that these people can't speak or these people get preferential speaking rights. That's just something that's so antithetical about everything, about how the internet operates and how the First Amendment is developed, that I've just got to think that wouldn't come to pass. And if it did, hopefully a court or Congress or the American people writ large would say no.
So is it fair to say you're kind of looking at a NATO-like body potentially to run the internet?
Yeah, I think one of the questions is who exactly is going to govern how the internet operates. What websites are created and how are they created, and that's one of the things that's being debated here in Washington. Is should the U.S. government continue to have an oversight role, or should we essentially relinquish it and let a lot of other people try to manage it? And that's one of the questions that it's really difficult to figure out. But I think everyone should agree, I would hope, on the bottom line, which is that we shouldn't do anything that's going to jeopardize the free and open internet that we have. There's just no going back. Once you allow certain foreign repressing governments, for example, to have a decisive say on how it works.
Well, it feels very much like. I don't know. It's scary, but to go back to a point you made earlier, you mentioned something about Facebook and Twitter, and my first question is, why on earth would tech giants like Google and Facebook and Twitter be backing something like this?
I'm not quite sure what the particular reasons are. I would have to think, though, that even they would agree that the current model that we've got that has served us pretty well over the last 20 years. Each of those companies was developed under the current model, which is U.S. oversight of. And so, I tend to think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And to me, the internet is, I would argue, the greatest free market innovation in history. And so, I'm always a little leery about changes to it. And I think the burden really is on people who want to make a switch to justify why do you want to do this. And that's one of the complaints that we've heard in Washington and around the country, is that there hasn't been a case made, at least to most people's eyes, that we should make this kind of change right now.
Well, and there's a lot of to me a lot of liberal moral moral initiative in here, and that I feel like almost like the Second Amendment, where a lot of liberals believe, listen, if we put laws in place to fix this, and my response is the laws are already in place. You know, the internet is very capitalistic in the sense that if you do something negative that people view as a bad thing on the internet, you don't get traffic, you don't grow a business, you go away. And capitalism, the consumer, is the ultimate government, so to speak. And it has built the internet to be what it is. And now it feels like some countries like China, like North Korea, who will jail people for life for things they post on the internet, have become so offended that, you know, they now believe they should have a voice in what we as American citizens should be able to do and say on the internet.
Exactly, and that's one of the great things about the internet. As you put it, it's to me, it's sort of the ultimate democracy. It's if you've got a good idea, if you've got a good argument, it can find expression in a way where it couldn't have, back before the internet existed. And as you said, there are threats abroad. I mean, just a couple of days ago, a Jordanian writer was assassinated outside the Supreme Court. He had been arrested on the orders of the Prime Minister because he had posted something that some people considered offensive on Facebook.
Right.
I mean, this is not a road we want to go down, where people are, punished or even killed as a result of their online expression. And that's one of the things that I think we have to guard against.
Well,
everywhere.
Especially given the ability for people to hack the internet, right? I mean, he may not have posted anything that they accused him of, but he's dead. So there is no due process. So listen, Ajit, thank you so much for the interview, for the comments, the questions, stuff I've been dying to find out. Hopefully some people are going to walk away a lot more informed today than they were when they came in. And I appreciate it. And God bless you for being an Obama appointee and still being here. and still doing.
Well, I really appreciate it.
All right, you take care of yourself. In the immortal words of Will Ferrell, that just happened.
What does that do? Does that
and
blow
none of us
your
knew
mind?
about it.
That just happened.
At midnight last night, that happened. This was from earlier this week. That happened.
The unbelievable thing is the regular people out there, I had no idea. Nope. No idea until I just listened to that interview.
And it is going to be a seismic change. And I know people, you're going to hear liberals say, oh, you're fear-mongering. It is going to be a seismic change to the way the internet runs. 844-900-3838, CurtSchillingShow.com. Back in a minute to close the day.
The Curt Schilling Show.
At Granite State Indoor Range and Gun Shop, our range is not a gym in the typical sense, but we do encourage a certain type of exercise, and that exercise is called freedom. So majestic. For the month of July, and because it's America's birthday, we have a couple of sweet deals that'll help get a little extra freedom pumping through your veins. All month long, if you purchase a new firearm or take any one of our magnificent training classes, you get a free 60-day range pass. That means no lane fees for 2 months. On top of that, if you bring a new shooter to the range, we'll waive their lane fees just for trying us out. And remember, all new firearms purchases come with a lifetime warranty, try before you buy program, and a 30-day no regrets policy. So come check out New England's friendliest range, firearm store, and training center. We're open and shooting 7 days a week, or you can visit our website anytime at granitestaterange.com to sign up for classes and get more information. And don't forget to like us on Facebook for the latest deals, and of course,
all these cat pictures! God bless America for these cat pictures!
Granite State Indoor Range and Gun Shop, purveyors of freedom.
Welders, has Maine Oxy got a deal for you? The Maine Oxy tool of the month is the Hogan swivel-based portable magnetic drill. This 115-volt drill is excellent for horizontal, overhead, tight areas, and getting out over another piece of steel. Plus 2 bonus freebies, lubricant and cutting fluid, all for just $999. Buy this Hogan drill, and you'll feel like a Hogan's hero. Ha! Maine Oxy, with 15 stores throughout New England. Or go to MaineOxy.com.
For industrial gas, for specialty gas, call Maine Oxy.
For 20 years, Helping Hands of America has made donating your car, truck, or boat to a local charity so easy, and it's tax deductible too. All you have to do is call 888-881-9090 and donate your vehicle, running or not, to Association of Blind Citizens, Sacred Hearts Missions, or Meals on Wheels. Donate your car or boat today to a local charity right here in New England. And pickup is fast and free. Call 888-881-9090 or visit their website at helpinghandsofamerica.org.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Work with your doctor when taking medications. Make Protovite part of your healthy lifestyle.
HealthForLiberty.com is your source for Protovite, a powerful nutritional supplement that's a true breakthrough for your health. Poor digestion makes it nearly impossible to absorb the nutrition your body needs. Protovite is a liquid multi-nutrient formula with patent-pending absorption technology and the highest quality ingredients to nourish nourish every cell in your body.
My name is Sandra White. 6 weeks ago, when I started taking Protovite, I was on 14 medications, from everything for blood pressure to fibromyalgia. In the first 10 days, my blood sugar dropped 50 points, and my fibromyalgia pain is gone. And so was 12 of the 14 medications that I was taking. I'm 66, living life and loving it.
Go to healthforliberty.com right now. That's healthforliberty.com.
Thank you, Protovite, for giving my life back.
Foodforliberty.com sells high-quality, storable foods from Numana. And right now, take advantage of our summer special. Purchase 2 family packs and we'll send you a Pro Pure Water Pitcher, a $70 value, free. This premium pitcher is ideal for use with just about any water source and removes more contaminants than other brands. And it comes with a filter that lasts up to 2 full years. Whether you need to be prepared in the event of an emergency or an outdoor sports enthusiast, Numana is known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, super nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. And with a 25-year shelf life, you can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. Go to foodforliberty.com right now for great-tasting, high-quality, storable foods from Numana. Buy 2 family packs and get the Pro Pure Water Pitcher free. It makes good sense to be prepared. Get it at foodforliberty.com.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. As many of you could probably guess, I love to shop. But you know what I don't love? Waiting in long lines at the dressing room and dealing with crowded parking lots at the mall. Or in my case, being bombarded by gaggles of adoring fans. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I can imagine it'd be a hassle. But luckily for me, I can get all of my shopping done at the most convenient store in the country. The Howie Carr Show online store at howiecarrshow.com makes shopping easy, convenient, and most importantly, affordable. Whether I want a Hillary for Prison t-shirt or a copy of Brothers Bulger to read poolside, I always go to howiecarrshow.com. And when I'm on pug duty, I love whipping out my Hillary doggy poop bag to help clean up after Gunnar and Pearl. There is no better and cheaper store around than the Howie Carr Show online store. So go to howiecarrshow.com and click on store. There is always a great deal waiting for you, and I can guarantee all of your friends will be super jealous when you show up to the next BBQ decked out in the latest awesome t-shirt, courtesy of the captain himself. Go to howiecarrshow.com now. That's howiecarrshow.com. Click store.
He's on the mound and pitching the truth. This is the Curt Schilling Show with your host, Curt Schilling.
All right, closing the day out, and we're going to start playing a little game here. We're going to Dennis and I are going to talk about locks. And,
Dennis? Who's Dennis?
Yeah, who the hell's Dennis?
What did I say?
Dean.
Oh, did I say Dennis? I'm sorry.
It's all right, Joe.
No problem, Bob. We're going to talk about a lock. I got my lock pick this week is going to be Seattle minus 2.5. I think that's going to be a crushing.
I think that's a good one, but I am going to take Denver minus 3 myself. I think we're both doing the same thing. Defenses are winning now in the NFL. The tides are turning.
If you are a daily fantasy player, I think for DraftKings, I think Todd Gurley is an absolute must play. Going up against yards per carry, the 27th ranked defense in the NFL in Arizona.
And we both have them on our fantasy teams.
We do.
And for my suicide lock of the week for your suicide pools, the Houston Texans for me coming off a humiliating, embarrassing loss against a third-string quarterback here in New England.
I'm going to take the Pats plus 16.
You're a homer.
Jeez,
Look at your shirt. You're a homer.
My suicide pool this week would be the Cardinals.
There we go. I think that's another good one.
All right.
Cardinals are due 1-2 for a team that should have Super Bowl on their mind.
How long we got? We are all right. Well, hey, it was fun.
It was great to be here.
I will see you next
myself.
week.
Yeah, it was
at the same time.
It was good. You're not crazy. Some people think you're crazy.
Well, that depends on who you ask.
Andrew Kaczynski is actually saying, hey, you know what? Kurt's not actually that awful.
Did he really?
I think he's still playing to get unblocked on Twitter.
He's playing the bromance angle.
Yeah, he is. I think we're still in negotiations.
After the Grace mistake last week, I don't want to have
my
I didn't follow her back.
Yeah.
So I don't want to trivialize what it means for me to unblock someone.
Yeah,
so,
I'm honored to have the Curt Schilling follow.
Right. Well, we're like that. I mean, so. Hey, thanks for listening. We will be back next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, CurtSchillingShow.com. Thank you, NH1 99.1 FM in New Hampshire. Have a great week, guys.
Hey, it's the Curt Schilling Show.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. As many of you could probably guess, I love to shop. But you know what I don't love? Waiting in long lines at the dressing room and dealing with crowded parking lots at the mall. Or in my case, being bombarded by gaggles of adoring fans. Well, it hasn't happened yet, but I can imagine it'd be a hassle. But luckily for me, I can get all of my shopping done at the most convenient store in the country. The Howie Carr Show online store at howiecarrshow.com makes shopping easy, convenient, and most importantly, affordable. Whether I want a Hillary for Prison t-shirt or a copy of Brothers Bulger to read poolside, I always go to howiecarrshow.com. And when I'm on pug duty, I love whipping out my Hillary doggy poop bag to help clean up after Gunnar and Pearl. There is no better and cheaper store around than the Howie Carr Show online store. So go to howiecarrshow.com and click on store